Yar har.
Ahoy. Yeah, any bets? Any bets? Before we get into character creation?
Yeah, like let's see if there's bets.
Yeah.
Hi everybody.
Hello.
We've got a bunch of people here. This is our second of 3 character creation sessions. Today we're going to be diving a little bit into Kate's character, but also a bit more about the world of Datafall. It's good to see people here. Angelwick, fingers crossed for you. That would be awesome. Kate's outfit, though. Zablica throws down some bets. Someone takes Serenity, someone takes Endings, no one takes Journeys, and Gil's got money on Secrets.
Doesn't that leave another one that no one would take?
Well, if someone takes Endings and someone takes Serenity, that means that there are no Journeys, and that means that there's also no Secrets, according to Zablica. Weirdness is going with Endings
Listening
or Secrets.
hard. Oh boy.
Alexander is saying a chosen of secrets. Aramethius, I've just realized that the chronicle premise means lots of pirate talk. Not necessarily.
No.
Not necessarily.
We're in the future. So instead of Yarher, it'll be... No, we still say Yarher when we're sailing the seas.
Sail.
Sail.
Yeah. The soundboard will make its return when we back up and running.
Sail is mandatory.
Yes.
No arguments. I will take no arguments. I missed some comment that I wanted to comment on. Thanks, chat, for moving fast. So apologies if I missed something. It was probably nothing important. So.
Liz as Journeys, Kate as Endings.
Yeah, interesting.
I like the predictions here.
Thanks, Liz, for being super original. Much appreciated.
I am. Do we have the sale ready? So not currently.
Not
we
in
will.
this scene collection.
We will. I mean, I hold on.
Your mouse is on my screen, so
we're gonna try one thing to see if we can.
Yeah, it's in the SFX folder. There we go.
I don't know if that played though. Let me check.
It's capturing desktop audio, but
no, it's not playing where we need it to. That's okay. It'll play at some other point. It did play. Oh, great.
Yeah, great.
Perfect.
Where's the main sale?
Kate's looking bureaucratic. So, what we're going to do today, Kate has already done a bunch of work in building her character, but we're going to build it live in front of you. We're going to do it similar to how we did with Scott's character last week. We're going to go through, figure out the character, not just the mechanics, but some of the backstory, some of the personality quirks, the intimacies along the way. As we're doing that, I might be challenging or at the very least discussing some of the choices that Kate has made. It is important to note a couple of things. Number one, this is not locked in. Our character sheets are never locked in, not even at the start of the campaign. Usually I give the players about 3 sessions to make major changes. So if it's like, oh, I think I would have rather have played a Infernal as opposed to a Sidereal, you got to make that choice in the first 3 sessions. After that, it's a bit hard to retcon huge changes like that. But even minor changes, I allow my players to make them whenever they want, assuming that, of course, it's because of something like, this isn't working the way that I thought it would, or I thought this would be important and it turns out that it is not. So nothing here is set in stone.
Allison, I'm absolutely going to tell you all of my secrets because I want my friends to know my secrets. And my secrets are that I think they're swell. That is Scott and Liz, my fellow players. Can't say as much for their characters.
Next number with a great prediction. All chosen in battles, no think, only punch.
Boom! You thought it was just oops all Sidereals? Too bad. Oops all chosen in battles. All fight all the time.
We also have to make one thing extra that's clear. Since we're running this in a cyberpunk shard of Exalted, that means that things are going to be changing depending on how we modify the campaign to fit its theme, but also its setting, but also the system. So some things that might be described in the books may not apply. That could include mechanics, it could include setting information, and lore. By default, the lore is basically the same. We just reserve the right to make changes if we need to. Bureaucracy with a punch?
Good.
Well, let's see. We're going to get this started then.
Yeah.
Got a bunch of people here, got a bunch of predictions in. Let's find out if any of them are correct. Let us first take a look up here. So we have Kate. And what do you want to reveal first about this?
I'm fine with name.
With
Just
name?
Work our way down.
Go for it.
Working title, still not 100% sold on it, but I haven't thought of anything better in many weeks, so steps retaken with a hyphen.
Now with steps retaken, what could that possibly mean for your cast?
Yeah, I wonder. Perhaps it would be the chosen of journeys.
Everyone was wrong.
Yeah.
Literally everyone was wrong.
I love it. I don't know that I've written down my concept anywhere. So I wasn't using one of these. I was using good old lot casting Atemi. It is great. It is amazing. Ah, you said journeys are endings. There you go.
Ah, okay.
What's my biomask? Yeah, I don't know. Concept.
So in terms of concept,
Yeah.
just a snappy thing. We
Yeah,
had-
that's the struggle. It's like I think we'll have to come back to that
That's fine.
I feel like I could sit here for 10 minutes trying to puzzle that out. So we're just gonna skip it.
no worries.
Yeah,
None of the rest of the stuff
Yeah.
up here is actually
Yeah.
incredibly important to fill out
yeah.
at
I
this
mean, I
point.
can say that my exaltation sign is probably the gull. But I'm not sure about my birth sign. I feel like I want to talk to the others to make sure that we haven't all chosen. I mean, maybe it would be cool if we all had the same birth sign, but yeah.
Remember
Yeah.
that signs are important based on prophecy.
Yeah.
The things that you can state will happen,
Mm-hmm.
and therefore the setting bends itself around that possibility.
Yeah, it also has to do with resplendent destinies. Like it has some suggested resplendent destinies for you.
Hello, Kung Fu Fenris.
Hello.
Welcome back.
Yeah. Hope you had a good trip. Hope you had a good. Perhaps you raised a glass with Mia.
Okay,
All right.
so we're going to leave these behind for a second. Let's go towards your attributes.
Yep.
So, out of the attributes, we have our physicals, our socials, and our mentals. Which one is your primary?
Mental.
So, we are not the himbo.
No.
All right.
So I've got 3 perception, 5 intelligence, 2 wits.
So that's 6. Remember that you get
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Sorry, 7.
Yeah.
That you've placed in here.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Moving on. Your physical and your. Ooh, why is appearance all
I don't know.
knocked over here? There we go. Your between social and
Social is my second.
your social is your secondary. All right.
I want to have low manipulation, which means that that's 414. So, hot and charismatic. Not good at manipulating people. And that's part of why I've got low wits. Dumb stat. Yeah. And then in my attributes, my physicals being the lowest, I've got 2, 3, 1. So I have 2 dump stats at the moment. I have 1 stamina, 3 dex, 2 strength.
Is that
753, isn't it?
no?
Oh.
No, it is not.
Oh, it's 6, 4. No, 8, 6, 4. Did
Yep.
I look at EX3 maybe and solars are different?
No.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm good there. 1, 2, 3. Oh.
Yeah.
I'm way off.
You
okay.
you are off.
Okay. Well then. Great.
So you get 8, 6, 4.
Great.
So you've got 6 in your socials.
Yeah.
You only have 7 in your mentals. and you have 3 in your physicals. So you need to add an extra dot.
Okay, I'll get 1 more stamina because being squishy is probably not the smartest.
So 2, 3, 2.
And then mental. I don't really want to be high wits, so I guess it's 4, 5, 2 for perception. Oh, I don't know where I got those numbers. No freebies yet, so.
Yep. Yeah, it is World of Darkness, which is 753.
There you go.
So, a bit more perceptive than you used to be. Intelligence 5, Wits 2. Strength 2, Dex 3, Stamina 2, and Charisma 4, Manipulation 1, Appearance 4.
Yeah.
Talk to me about Manipulation 1, because this has been on your mind for a little while.
Yeah, so I guess sort of circling back to concept, but not in a snappy way, is that I want someone who is more Seelie leaning than most of my characters are, to borrow the term from Changeling Dreaming. Sort of good, maybe not 100% lawful good, but kind of in that direction, like between lawful and neutral good in terms of D&D alignment. I tend to play characters that are a bit counterculture, a bit I do what I want. They do still do good, but they aren't necessarily, the typical picture thereof. Whereas I want to try to play someone who is a bit more so. And, so that's part of it. And also, low manipulation is that as much as she's chosen journeys and her ideas are like guiding people, she wants to guide people in the right direction. And it's not, to her mind, she doesn't want to manipulate them into it. She wants to show them the path and them to believe it themselves rather than sort of be tricking them. So that's sort of the thought behind low manipulation. And low wits is that I feel like I've played a lot of high wits characters, and so that's another sort of aspect of trying to explore a different angle.
So your wits is still 2.
Yeah.
And a 2 in wits is
average.
Average.
Yeah.
So
it's just not high wits. Yeah.
The thing that I'll point out here is that Manipulation 1 does not make you gullible. Manipulation 1 makes you easily influenced, potentially. And also, it makes you not great at tricking or manipulating other people. It's actually integrity, which will be the ability that will help kind of isolate whether or not steps you're taking as somebody who can resist other people manipulating her.
For now, she, her pronouns. That's on the sheet, but just to confirm, because you used a pronoun. This character may not get along with Blazing Chrome. We've all talked about our characters and our character concepts, and how we can make our ideas fit. And to lift the veil a little bit, there's a bit of talk of how Patches was unseelie, whereas Sophia and Brom were seelie, and Scott and Liz and I are all excited about the reverse, with at least Scott's character being a bit unseelie and my character being a bit seelie, and finding how we can align our goals. Liz's character is a mystery. She is just Lee. Neither seelie or unseelie, just Lee. No. Hers is to be discovered. But yeah. Our big discussions thus far have been to make sure that we can all get along and be a team. So yeah.
Let's take a look at abilities.
Yeah.
Now, for abilities, we've got a whole bunch.
I know, Angelic, it's just, Exalted doesn't have like good or evil in the same way. So it's just, trying to find ways of describing that. Abilities. So
you have 5 cast abilities.
Yeah, which are
Resistance, Ride,
there's the C's.
Sail, Survival, and Throne. You also have Martial Arts as a cast ability.
Oop.
Now, beyond that, you also get to choose 5 favored abilities.
So at the moment, to be discussed are Bureaucracy, Linguistics, Lore, Occult. 1, 2, 3.
You've named 4.
Yeah, I can't count. I need a 5th.
Well, we can work on that.
Yeah, TBD.
So, throw down.
Yeah.
You have 28 dots. You can't raise them above 3 without spending bonus points.
Yeah.
I am keeping track, by the way, of your bonus points that you spent, and so far you have spent none.
Correct.
Go for it.
All right.
For
Yeah,
that
it's not good evil. All right. At the moment, I've got athletics 2, though there's a merit I'm looking at that might need that to be 3. Awareness 1. Bureaucracy 3. Dodge 3. Investigation 1. So pausing,
Detective steps are taken.
but pausing to flag the lack of integrity. Another thing I want to avoid, because Valeria, for our very first stream, Exalt Witch Nexus, was an integrity supernal, so I definitely want to avoid diving back into that pool. Continuing onward, I have 2 in linguistics, 2 in lore, 2 in occult, 1 in performance, 1 in resistance, 3 in sail, 2 in socialize, 1 survival, 3 throne, and 1 war. Yep, easily manipulated. Not good at manipulating. I am excited to have a big vulnerability. I'm excited to see if my fellow players want to push my character a little bit in their direction. Or if, they're just having to deal with the fact that I get convinced at every market that I have bought the rarest jewel in creation for a steal.
You have picked 4 of your 5 favorite abilities.
Yeah.
Now, remember that the 5th one, you are going to get your excellency. And even if you didn't buy any charms in that one. I have a couple of suggestions of what you could potentially do. So, dodge is something that you have 3 dots in.
Yeah.
You also could pick socialize as something because you are going to, you have a high charisma.
Yeah.
So you will potentially be socializing with a bunch of people. And of course, you can throw it in anything that you have a 1 in. It means that it's cheaper to upgrade later.
Oh, the star is excellency. So because I have 3 dodge, I get an excellency in it. Anyway, that's what the asterisks are. Sorry, I am using the
You get an excellency if you've bought the if you've bought 1 charm.
Charm in it. Okay, so I think I'm gonna go with socialize for now as a favored. Socialize.
Okay.
How do we add favorite abilities?
And remember, we
Not
can change
casting.
these at any point.
Yeah.
Now, you also have to pick some specialties.
Yeah. Still trying to figure out where the heck I took favorite. Abilities. No. Y'all that are familiar with lot casting attending, can you remind me what that setting is?
Where which setting is, sorry?
For favored abilities. I got specialties, attributes, abilities, craft martial arts. I picked 4 of them. Just don't know how the fuck you do that. Edit top right. Oh, it's the dots. No. Journey favorite abilities. Ah, thank you.
Yep.
Socialize, merci. There we go. Cool. Thank
I
you.
wasn't logged in, so I couldn't tell you.
No,
Now
it's all
I'm logged
good.
in.
Thank you. Okay, at the moment, I just went down the list of my favorite things, which maybe is silly now that I realize that I get a specialty if it's favored. Right?
No,
No?
your specialties are just 4 abilities that you choose to have a specialty in. It can be anyone that you want. As long as you have 1 dot.
Mm-hmm. Let me just take these away and see what that does, because I want to...
I'm going to give you your base willpower of 5 while I'm here, and your essence of 1.
Because I get a specialty... No, I get an excellency
Yes.
if I have... Okay. Right,
You get an excellency for each of your favored and cast abilities, and any ability for which you have 1 charm.
Yeah.
Then you just get the excellency right away.
Yeah.
The excellency's effectiveness are based on how many dots in the ability you have.
Okay. I had initially done bureaucracy, lore, occult, and I think linguistics. All my knowledgey things.
Sure, but what's the specialization?
Yeah, that's what I hadn't determined.
All right, so let's talk about that for a minute. You have 3 dots in bureaucracy, so you're already pretty good at it.
Good at navigating. Yeah, the thing is, I like good at navigating bureaucracy, but that's bureaucracy. So how do I like? Yes, Belle. I like Evelyn from the Mummy. Definitely. Yes, loves books. Belle from Beauty and the Beast is definitely on my inspiration list. Absolutely correct. Head, bang, hit the nail on the head.
So Blazing Chrome is somebody that you'd be interested in.
Yes, Gaston. He's my Gaston. Oh my God. Yes, please. Yeah, someone. Yeah, just to veer off a bit into character is that she loves reading and knowledge and information, but it was something she had to travel to that didn't have like access to. She didn't grow up in a big city, so it is a bit of Belle walking to get the like one new book in town sort of thing whenever she can. That kind of vibe from Beauty and the Beast. So in terms of bureaucracy, though, circling back, it's cutting through red tape.
Yeah.
Linguistics is, which is interesting because I feel like she's more about the journey. So maybe that's not what her bureaucracy specialty should be.
Well, it's letting you get to your journey faster, right?
Yeah, but she's not about, okay, I want to get where I'm going. It's about enjoying the journey you're on. We'll see. I can always change these as we go
Sure
along.
Can.
Linguistics is, like striking up a dialogue sort of thing. Like forming rapport sort of thing.
So specifically, linguistics as an ability is the ability used to compose works of writing.
And so, to me, it's communicating in writing or email if we go that digital route.
Yeah. So what is it that you want to be good at in writing?
Striking a familiar tone in a way that's accepted, which is why I'd say like forming good rapport.
So is it forming good rapport, or is it like knowledge of local customs? Is it something that, are you really good at seeming like you belong?
I think it's more as feeling like we're friends is the vibe that I want to go for, like building familiarity.
Okay, let's put building familiarity. Lore.
I know there's
establishing
specific,
dumb facts.
Yes. Because lore has specific backgrounds, and I don't know if there's a list anywhere of lore backgrounds or whether it's just like you make them up. Like you've got lots of lore about,
so
what happens in Nexus.
Lore represents a character's understanding of the world, covering academic disciplines of history, mathematics, geography, literature, science, philosophy, and similar scholarly pursuits.
Yeah.
You do not have to identify the specifics about lore.
Yeah, but there's a whole thing about...
It says players must note the subject of their character's education when selecting lore, as this impacts the scope of what the ability may cover for them.
Yeah.
So, in here...
Yeah. Because the thing is, specifically with lore, you can get lore backgrounds, and there's like a whole subsection about lore that's all about getting lore backgrounds.
Yeah, so I have that here.
Yeah.
It's page 237.
Of the core?
Of the core.
Okay. Cute. I have the physical core right here, but we also have the printout we made before the core existed. And I don't know, binder better. We own it. It's purchased. We paid. We also were given one many years ago. Thank you.
So this is correct. A lore specialty is different from lore background.
Yeah.
So I could make a suggestion. Gil is saying sidereal training is a perfectly acceptable lore background.
Yeah.
So I agree with that. But then you specifically have.
Oh, I want the history. I want like olden times. You're right.
Yeah.
The before times.
So I'm gonna put your lore
Yeah.
is going to be here sidereal training, because that's where your lore is here, but your specialty is going to be in the long ago.
I've got the before times. We'll figure out what it's called. Yeah. And then occult.
So here's something that answers a question that was asked earlier. I think it was Eremetheus, but I'm not sure. Is how long has this been a cyberpunk universe?
Yeah.
Not that long. Remember that sidereals live a very long time, right? We're talking thousands of years, assuming that they don't,
Yeah.
So one of the things that is particular about the Datafall frame that we're using is that once the world streams began, once the Imperial Manse became available in order to project all of these things, technology advanced very rapidly. So essentially the beginning of the cyberpunk era started shortly after the Scarlet Empress unlocked the Imperial Manse.
So 700 years ago.
About.
Okay.
But that's only when it started, right?
Yeah.
And then technology ramped up very quickly afterwards. The spread of information is what's important here.
Yeah.
Now, once the information started spreading quite rapidly as a result of the world streams, once people could harness that technology and use it, that's when we started moving out of like even just the sort of industrial right to near future from what we consider near future.
So 700 years, not 2 or 3?
No, 700 years is when it started.
Yeah.
And remember that before 700 years ago, Exalted looked just like it would in the novels.
Okay, that's more time than I thought. But that's fine.
Okay.
Because we hadn't really discussed, we'd said maybe 200 or 300 because that's how it's been. Like, if we're talking near future, it's only been like 200 or 300 years since the Industrial Revolution.
Yes.
So
that's what
it's
I mean.
700 years for...
Okay. No.
Yeah. Okay.
Let me... 700 years ago, Scarlet Empress accesses the Imperial Manse, gets access to information. That's it. The world hasn't changed yet.
Okay.
As that technology becomes understood, as the things start to build up, then technology starts to advance.
Yeah.
But remember that we're starting in like Bronze Age.
Yeah.
So the difference between 700 years ago, which was Bronze Age, and today, which is near future, that's a very rapid acceleration of time. Faster than our universe. So we've only had access to things like the world streams for about 100 to 150 years.
Okay. So we're 150 years of like
we're about computer type.
Okay.
And where we get to like a cyberpunk type, it's been that way for maybe 50 years.
Okay, great. Thank you. That makes more sense. Sorry, I interpreted it as 700 years ago the world stream started, and I was like, whoa!
So, Angelwick, the world streams were not active before the Solar Purge.
Okay, cool.
Because the Solar Purge did not happen 50 years ago.
Yeah.
Or 100 years ago.
Yeah.
So, I am deliberately not revealing anything about the first age compared to today. That players are going to have to discover on their own, and so will you. But we're not talking about the first age here. The first age is long time ago. Long time ago. So world streams are a relatively recent invention. That's about 100 to 150 years ago. However, nobody developed anything beyond that. They just worked. And so when the world streams stopped, that's why communication is now still very difficult between all of the cities in creation. They relied on the world streams and just assumed that they would always work.
Yeah.
And now they don't.
Yeah. Just dropping that on our Datafall channel. Because I know that's something a lot of people have been asking. And thank you. That
I wanted to save it for... Gotta give people a reason to watch these things.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can delete it and just put it.
No. Keep it there. It's fine. It's. I want people to feel good about being here and discussing it. It's going to be a different shard.
Yeah. Cool.
Now, occult.
Yeah.
You need a specialization for occult.
Yeah.
So the definition of occult, if we're going into that, just because to make sure that we understand, because obviously things are going to change. Okay, hello. Thank you. There we go. So, occult is a required thing to create artifacts or use sorcery.
Yeah. So I think maybe.
It's understanding creation's mystical and otherworldly elements.
So I think the specialty would be in artifacts or other magical objects.
Artifacts.
Yeah.
Now remember that a lot of artifacts that we are going to discover are based on materia.
Yeah.
But materia are still derived from the 5 magical materials, from things that could have happened in the first stage. So this all still absolutely applies.
Yeah.
And your knowledge of old things of the past would still matter here. So, artifacts.
Yeah.
Linguistics building familiarity. Bureaucracy cutting through red tape.
Yep.
Which is, I'm going to put a question mark here because we're still not entirely sure about that one.
Yeah.
And lore the long, long ago.
Because cutting through red tape sounds too efficient, so I think I do want to circle back and hitting.
How about nudging?
Nudging. Good. Nudging the process.
Nudging the wheel.
Yeah, sure. Perfect.
So one of the things that you and I have discussed a little bit about this character is the idea that she's very much somebody who likes to gently encourage things. Can you talk about that for a bit?
Yeah, so having this 5,000 year lifespan, and another thing is that something that I've talked with John about and with the other players about is this concept of potentially having a bit stronger recollection of her last life than is typical. There are flashes of your past life that happens in Sidereal, especially as you're going through your first change. And there's some recollection.
Your exaltation.
Exaltation.
You've been playing werewolf a little bit.
I mean, same concept. Yeah, your exaltation. I love how I kept using changeling terms during werewolf, and now I'm going to use werewolf terms during exalted. It's just, I'm always going to be a system behind. And so there's like a slightly stronger connection to the past. So I feel like she, perhaps more than other recently exalted Sidereals, has this comfort and confidence in the fact that she has this longevity. And so the idea of like, oh, if I drop a few pebbles in the stream now, it's going to redirect the flow of it in 1,000 years, and it'll be a great river. It's, truly the smallest little push can lead to this huge ripple effect, and that's all she's interested in doing. She isn't interested in like grabbing someone and turning them and pushing them in a direction. That's not really her style. So it's that vibe of just little pushes, little hints, little nudges. So yeah, very, very likely to plant a seed, knowing that it'll propagate and eventually become a forest.
We're going to talk a little bit more about this concept of your past lives, about remembering things. Yeah. But let's move on to your merits.
Merits.
Now, we already know that there's a few merits that you're going to have right off the bat.
Yeah.
First, martial arts.
Yes.
You get that free.
Yeah.
You also get 5 dots for your participation in the Celestial Bureaucracy. So that is backing.
Backing 2.
So that's the Hero of Destiny.
Hero. Bod 2. And I went with resources 3.
Great. Now you have 10 more dots.
Yep.
However, first, because I gave this to everybody.
Yeah.
So I gave languages.
Yeah.
Not linguistics.
Yeah.
So your languages, you're going to get a bunch.
Yeah.
You have access to
Old Realm.
Old Realm.
Because we're part of the Bureau and we're Sidereals. River Speak as the common tongue of the world. Yep. And one native tongue, which is Sea Tongue for me.
So you grew up in the West.
Yep. Southwest, but West.
And did you pick a 4th language?
I've. Oh, do I get one?
You got one more for free.
Oh shit. I'm gonna say High Realm is free, and then I'm gonna have Old Realm.
So you have Old Realm, High Realm, Sea Tongue, and River Speak.
Yeah.
Great.
And then I've purchased one for Low Realm.
So you're also getting low realm.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
So that's one of your merits spent.
Woo!
What else are we looking at?
Direction sense. I think I saw Scott also had that. Look, we're doing some seafaring. We're on a boat.
That's 1 dot, right?
Yeah, 1 dot. Page 160, 161. Never completely lost. Knowing you're facing acting as living compass. And lower difficulty to navigate towards a fixed known location or to retrace her steps. Name of character.
In fact,
Yeah.
Blazing Chrome does not have
Oh,
direction sense.
maybe
It's strong lungs.
Oh, that's the other one that I'm looking at to have also. But I need to have athletics 3. So I was looking at potentially strong lungs. Having spent her childhood on the water.
Their
But maybe
direction
not.
sense. So things like direction sense.
Yeah.
I don't mind that doubles up with somebody else because of course somebody else.
Yeah,
can
I don't need strong lungs. Great. Delete.
We're not going to go with strong lungs.
No, I don't want to dump all those into athletics anyway. So it felt like it could make sense, but don't need it. Great. Then I think I'd like to bump up my resources to 4. So 3 from the bureau. No, up.
That's 3 merits spent.
Plus this one. Okay.
I'm keeping the languages up to 4 just to reflect that it's there, but 3 of them are the ones that I gave, so we'll put 3 free here.
Yeah. And same thing. Yeah, exactly. Ski free. Great. Then looking at 2 things. Mance and an artifact. So Mance 3 and artifact 4. So that's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Perfect.
Yes, so you've spent 10 merit points at this point.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about mances and artifacts, shall we?
Mm-hmm.
Now, for a manse, very specifically, if we look at the merits, mances. A manse is, come on, scroll faster, jerk. Here we go. Mances gives you the domain merit and a Hearthstone merit.
Correct. It's super OP. You spend 3 dots and you get 4 extra dots.
So you essentially are going to have, the 2 dot domain and 2 dot Hearthstone.
Correct.
So you get 1 dot free essentially by buying the manse. Because it's a 2 dot domain, 2 dot Hearthstone.
That's true. Yeah.
Now, that means that your manse is likely located in Yushan.
Yeah.
Or is that where you would like to keep it?
I think I'm good with that.
Okay.
Yeah, and that it's something she's either just acquired or something that was somehow left in the records to eventually go back to her upon re-exaltation.
Yeah.
TBD. This is only something I decided last night, so there's definitely some fleshing out to go flavor-wise.
Sure. But your manse could be something that you picked up from your previous life, where essentially it was like, I dedicate this to whoever comes after.
Yeah, exactly.
For those who come after.
The ship is like a company car, which is why it's not on our sheets.
Yes, the ship, specifically the ship is not required. The other thing I've told the players is that when they assemble crew, they do not have to spend the dots to get them as long as they have assembled the crew through gameplay.
Yeah.
If you spend dots on retainers, allies, contacts, mentor, or whatever, that means that not only will they show up, but the following things are true. 1, they will not betray you unless there's a very specific reason why that becomes possible. Like, you've mistreated them, you let them hang out with the enemy for 6 years and they develop Stockholm Syndrome, which is not a real thing, but whatever.
Yeah.
Right? Like, and if you lose that crew member, you get the dots back to spend somewhere else. But I'm not asking people to spend dots. The point of the ship is to assemble a crew.
Yeah.
And I kind of don't want to make you just spend a ton of experience to assemble a crew.
Especially if the ship is on loan, because when I first filled out the dots was before we sort of fleshed out the details of that, and there was a possibility of it being my ship, and therefore I would need a retainer, and I would need some allies and stuff to, like, crew the ship. But it's a company ship, so ding, not
The ship
mine.
does not belong to
Correct.
you. You, however, are...
Commander / probably captain.
You are the captain of the
Yeah.
ship.
Yeah.
Which means that it's your commission.
Yeah.
So it is your ship
Mm.
up to the point where the heaven
Yeah, the
is
Bureau is like,
give it back.
No, it's not. Much like in, Napoleonic era, you were given command of a ship, but at any time, the powers that be could take it back.
Yeah.
Reassign you. Yes.
So that does not mean that sometime down the line in the future you might take
Burn
the vessel
it,
and just
take it,
yeah.
buy it,
use
steal
it, break
it, fix it, trash it, change it, balance,
yeah.
upgrade it, charge it, pawn it, zoom it, press it, snap it, work it, quick erase it. I will stop. As much as we are in a cyberpunk future.
But regardless,
Yeah.
your manse,
Yeah.
located in heaven, you
Yeah.
still get the benefits from it,
Correct.
but you're not going to need to be there all the
No.
time.
Yeah.
So we'll get into your Hearthstone in a little bit,
Yeah.
because we'll have to determine that, but you've also listed a 4-dot artifact.
Yeah.
What could that possibly be?
I want silken armor. It's page 599, 600 in the core. It gives the artifact light armor stats, but it doesn't count as armor for the purposes of martial arts. And I'm kind of hoping it doesn't count as armor for other things that say can't use this while armored, but we can talk about that further. Yay! Yeah.
Now, because this is an artifact, we do have a couple of things that we need to determine here.
Yep.
First, is it star metal?
I mean, it's silken armor is supposed to pass as clothing, so I don't
Sure,
think of it
but
as having like plates of metal.
But all
it could
artifacts have
metal threads or whatever, right? Like
or a materia chip.
or a materia chip. Yeah,
But we are assuming at
Yeah.
this point that it is star metal.
yeah. As opposed to other metals, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, we're also going to have to come up with potential evocations for this.
Yeah.
Armor doesn't tend to carry the same number of evocations
No.
as weapons,
That's
but they
fine.
do exist. We'll talk about that. Maybe we'll get around to it today. Maybe not. It's
Yeah.
a big topic.
Yeah.
But you also could have the armor, but haven't unlocked any evocations
Exactly.
for it yet.
Exactly.
Evocations tend to be after you get to know the thing, you use it a bunch, it becomes a part of you. But the advantage of silken armor, not
Yeah.
only is it that it won't prevent you from using that armor in the future if you invest in a martial art that prohibits the use of armor,
Yeah.
but also you can wear it and it does not give the appearance of armor.
Yeah.
It gives the appearance of a tailored
Yeah.
outfit.
Jacket. Yeah. Yep. Yep. Yep.
So
Yeah.
you, unlike Blazing Chrome,
Yeah.
so if I look at Blazing Chrome's sheet, which at the moment I can because we did it
Yeah.
online, Blazing Chrome has a bunch of merits that are things for his personal
Yeah.
self. Things like fast reflexes
Yeah.
and pain tolerance, right? Like
Yeah.
he may or may not choose to buy an artifact. We haven't quite got there yet. You, however, have heavily invested in your artifact and your mats.
Yeah.
That means you get to regenerate motes a bit faster than other people. It also means you'll get the benefit of a Hearthstone.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about the Hearthstone now, or do you want to go into that later on?
Maybe come back to it.
Sure.
Yeah, because I don't have any decisions made about it again, because I came to this conclusion late last night.
Kate does indeed get the fancy shirt this time.
Yeah.
That is the point. Okay. Now, I scroll underneath.
Yeah.
We have the concept of a limit trigger. Let's
Yes.
just clear out the crud there. So, your limit trigger is something that, for Sidereals, something that's going to help you add to your limit. Remember that if you break, then that's celestial hubris that takes a hold of you. Did you have an idea of what you want your limit trigger to be?
Yeah. I'm really excited by the fact that Sidereal limit tends to be a bit different. It is specifically hubris. And so it's building into that notion. And at the moment, it's when I'm relied upon to solve a problem with the assumption that I'll get it done well. So if it's like, yeah, steps retaken, she's got it. We should give her this assignment. Limit. We're probably going to get into charms soon, but I have some charms that make it seem like I belong and like I'm competent. So I literally have charms that by using them, and if I succeed, I will probably gain limit, and I think that's really fun.
We did actually skip ahead. Limit trigger technically comes after charms.
That's fine.
Doesn't really matter. We are going to go to charms before we get to intimacies.
Fair.
So why don't we get down to charms? Now, again, we're not going to need to go over all 15 charms right now. We're just getting an idea of the kind of things that you want to be good at. If you have all 15, great, mark them down.
I do currently have 15, TBD, maybe rearranged. But, so as a chosen of journeys, I'm going to start with those. I've got honest faced spirit. Face. Page 158. It lets me gain guile for 2 guile for 3 motes. Anyone seeking to perform a task or responsibility is inclined to see her as qualified, which counts as a minor tie, feeding into my limit. Rolls to uncover a lack of qualification suffer +1 target numbers. So there's a lot of charms that I'm interested in. Maybe it's going to be too much overlap like I found with my werewolf character where they kind of all do the same thing. But there are a bunch that are like, yeah, I belong here. Yeah, I'm the person for the job. Like, pick me. And it's totally natural. Like, yes, I do have the certification to be here. Sort of Jedi mind trick stuff, which I find so exciting about Sidereal.
So this is a journeys charm.
Yes.
Specifically.
Yeah.
All right. What's next?
Mysterious Wanderer Wisdom. Sidereal is an enigmatic
Okay.
The Sidereal is an enigmatic figure roaming creation, offering her wisdom to those who join her on the road, which just sums her up. So it helps her boost people that are traveling with her. She can grant people following her advice some boosts on the journey ahead.
While you're looking at that, next number, is there a cap on how many charms you can invoke on the same roll? Yes, kinda. Yeah. So, the difference is that there are different types of charms. There are charms that are permanent, in which case, once you buy them, they're always active. Yeah. And that's just the way it is. There are charms that are supplemental, reflexive, simple. You can only have one simple charm per action. But you can add on supplemental charms in order to help boost those, like excellencies or supplementals. Reflexive charms, you can just activate when it becomes necessary. So for instance, for Honest Face Spirit, when somebody challenges Steps Retaken's Guile, she can reflexively activate that charm in order to boost her Guile. Yeah,
like this one, Mysterious Water Wisdom is permanent. Permanent instant? That seems wrong. What page is that?
Instant is duration, not
but that still seems wrong. I'll just quickly glance at that.
Yeah, it's probably because Lockcasting puts instant as a default for that. And weirdness is correct. You can't use the same supplemental charm more than once unless it specifically says so, but you can use as many supplemental charms as you have motes.
It's just permanent. Cool. So it's just something that I always have available to me. Because it's like once per day or once per story or whatever. That makes sense.
Now, in terms of spending motes, there's an important thing to note about Exalted, about when you're spending motes. You have 2 different pools to choose from. If you look at the character sheet, we'll scroll up for a second here so that you can see. You'll see that under Essence, you have a personal pool
of 11. Essence 1.
And you have a peripheral pool.
31.
You also have a committed number of motes, but we'll deal with that
for my character. Because of my...
Yeah. If you spend from your personal pool, no worries. That pool is interior and it's not going to bleed out. If you spend from your peripheral pool, if you spend a certain amount, I think it's 5. I forget exactly.
Yeah, 5 in a turn.
If you spend 5 peripheral essence in a round, then your anima starts to flare. You start showing signs that you're exalted. You go from having a dim anima to showing your cast mark on your forehead
Yep.
to the Sidereal specifically start showing a halo above
Yep.
their heads to then having an iconic bonfire anima
Yeah.
that just blazes above you, and for kilometers
Yeah.
around people can see that an Exalted is going fucking batshit on their
Yeah.
essence.
Yeah.
This makes stealth difficult,
Mm-hmm.
and it makes concealing your Exalted nature difficult. Now, sometimes this doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Who cares? They know I'm Exalted. I don't give a fuck. But sometimes it very much matters
Yeah.
because it's very hard to sneak around when you are lit up like a goddamn Christmas tree.
Yeah.
It's also difficult to then conceal the fact that if you're like, ah, yes, I am one of the dragon-blooded, but
Yeah.
then a fucking 4 shows up
Yeah,
on your
yeah.
forehead.
I'm just a poor little peasant woman peddling these apples. Blah. Yeah. Yeah.
Solars have anima, but
Yeah.
they don't have a halo.
Yeah.
Like
Specifically-
Sidereals very specifically have the circular
Halo.
circle above their head, the halo.
Yeah.
Yes, Sidereals can hide their cast mark in glowing, but
Yeah.
you have to actually hide it.
Yeah. Yeah. You can put a bandana on. That's actually why the ninjas in Naruto have those metal headbands to block their cast mark.
It's actually why head on applies, because you apply directly to the forehead.
Yeah. Other terms I've been looking at. Forgotten Earth, which is an athletics charm that lets me jump a range band. I want to be able to get around a
Just straight up hopping.
bit. Parkour! Yeah. It just feels very useful on a ship. It's like I want to get up to the rigging. Or, board a neighboring ship
It's an
or whatever.
athletics charm.
Yeah. But I only need athletics too. Yay. Then I've got a bureaucracy charm, which is slick essence replenishment. If I succeed at a bureaucracy, integrity, investigation, or lore action, I can gain motes for 9s and 10s in my roll. If I succeed at resolve, I can regain based on the 1s and 2s in my roll. So basically, if I make certain rolls and get certain results in those dice pools, I get to regain a bit of essence.
So I'm going to challenge for a second here.
Yeah.
You already will gain a bunch of motes from your mans.
Yeah.
So that's one thing.
Yep.
And second, your resolve sucks.
Yeah.
So are you okay with that?
For now.
Knowing that this may not
because
trigger a whole lot.
The first part is what I'm more interested in, which is when I succeed on bureaucracy, integrity, investigation, or lore roll, though I don't have much integrity. So we'll see. Maybe this becomes useless and gets replaced. So I'll put a question mark next to it and keep going.
Eremetheus has a question. The rules being non-specific on how mote spend is allocated. You have to spend the same type per charm, but can't spend 2 personal, 3 peripheral. My current ruling is you can only spend from one pool unless you are exhausting that pool.
Yeah.
So if you have 2 personal motes left, you can spend those 2 and then 3 more from your peripheral.
Correct.
But that's it.
Yeah.
You can't say I'm going to spend 4 from my
peripheral.
peripheral and 1 from my personal.
Yeah, no.
Oops. Like, no, you can't do that.
As far as I understand on rules as written, that's the case.
Yeah, that's what I understood.
But like, if in step 1 of combat, I don't remember other steps.
That's
but
essence.
like, if on your attack roll you use a charm that you can use personal, and then on your damage roll you use a different charm on your peripheral, that's fine because they're 2 different charms.
That's correct.
But yeah, it's just not like you can't pick and choose.
The moment you spend motes,
Yeah.
you have to spend from the same pool.
Other bureaucracy charm I'm looking at is underling invisibility practice, which makes anyone who considers themselves my social, political, or economic superior pay no attention to me. I'm just the help. Don't mind me. I'm just the help.
Very good at just like sliding in there.
I belong here. Do. Obviously it ends if I like join battle or do anything that makes me seem more important. But yeah.
Eremetheus, if you're using 4 charms at once, you're
Each
likely.
charm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Each charm can use a different pool. Obviously, you only have 2 pools, but it's specifically.
We're gonna get the exact
Yeah.
look at those rules just
Yeah.
to make absolutely certain. Why don't I check that while you
Yeah.
talk about Absent Self.
Yeah, it's a dodge charm. It's like the bread and butter dodge charm. It's the base of the tree, so anyone else getting dodge charms would also probably get it. But you can ignore essence or 3 points of evasion penalty. And if the attacker has a positive tie, she ignores all evasion penalties. And if they're unarmored or has no evasion penalties to negate, she can dodge an attack whose success is equal to her evasion. So I'd like to ask John, my artifact, counting as unarmored for martial arts, would also count as unarmored for Absent Self.
Let me look at Absent Self.
Page 199.
Yeah, just sorry.
Yeah, you're doing other things.
I am split.
Yes.
Why don't you say what
like
your
a
next
pool.
thing is?
Delighted Maiden Mean. It's also a dodge charm, but lets me calculate guile with appearance and dodge. This is part of why I'm okay with having low guile, is that there are charms for that. It's permanent. It's literally a permanent. So I spend the equivalent of 8 XP or at character creation. Page 174 for the pool split. Thank you, Gorgeous.
Thank you.
And yeah, so it lets me use appearance dodge to calculate my guile, which I think is amazing. It's like, sorry, don't you believe what I'm saying? Whoosh. Yeah, dodge and appearance. It's so good. I think Sidereals have some really cool, really cool charms in abilities that you wouldn't expect. Like, I wouldn't think dodge would let me use appearance to calculate guile. That's wild. But I think it's great. I think it's amazing.
Yeah, so it's per charm.
Yep.
So you could
Each
potentially, if you're using an excellency on top of a simple charm, you can spend from your personal for the simple charm and then your peripheral for the excellencies if you want. But you can't split the cost between
the two unless you are at the bottom of one pool and you empty the pool and then spill over.
There's also an important thing to note about sidereal charms compared to other charms. In the 3rd edition book, solar charms are explicitly mentioned as these aren't like a codified thing. You don't learn a charm from somebody and be like, teach me monkey leap technique.
Yeah.
That doesn't exist. It just happens.
Yeah.
Sidereal charms are the opposite. They tend to be quite codified. They tend to be like, yes, I will teach you honest face spirit. I am using absent self. Just as a fun little way to fuck things up. Why not?
So
sorry, you put delighted maiden.
Mean, yeah.
Okay, here we go.
Yep. So just circle back to absent self, page 190.
Absent self on Sidereal's page 199.
If the Sidereal is unarmored or has no evasion penalties, she can dodge an attack whose success is equal to her evasion. This is kind of why I wanted the silken armor.
Yes,
but silken armor specifically mentions martial arts.
Yeah, I would rule that this is up to me.
Yeah.
And that I would be within my rights to say you couldn't, but I'm not going to.
Yeah.
I'm going to say that you're spending a 4 dot artifact on light armor.
Yeah.
You'll be able to use absent self.
Thank you. I'm also looking at graceful crane stance, which is a dodge charm.
Because the other thing is it doesn't give you an evasion penalty.
No.
So it says if the Sidereal is unarmored or if she has no evasion penalties.
But that I think can come from onslaught and stuff. So
yeah, but we're just gonna say you're fine.
Thank you. Graceful crane stance lets me gain perfect balance, can stand on or move across surfaces too narrow or weak to support her normally without needing to roll. It's a flavor charm. It costs 3 motes, but again, being on ships all the time feels like really appropriate for my character to have.
That ain't just a flavor charm.
No.
If you're like running away from somebody and you decide to run along a power line,
yeah, exactly,
they can't follow you.
Which is perfect exalted stuff, which is fun.
Yes.
But yeah. Snappy banter approach, also dodge. I don't have the text copied in yet, but it's basically if my friend misspeaks, I can step in, make excuses, and be like, no, that's not quite what they meant. Here, listen to them again. Yeah,
when an ally fails a spoken influence roll with any ability, you can use this charm to let them roll again.
Yeah. Then I've got trouble reduction strategy. I've got a lot of dodge charms, which is wild, but they're just so good. I was like so not expecting to buy any dodge charms, then I just started reading them. I was like, I think I need all of these. So trouble reduction strategy. Defend other with evasion. Now I don't have high evasion at this time, but we'll see. I also don't have high stamina. Or no, I don't have high stamina. Like, I can defend other. Anyway, it's a way for me to defend other with my evasion stat. We'll see whether or not that actually makes sense for my character as I go through and play them more. But, yeah. I kind of want to be in more of a support role than a big combat role, unlike our dear Chosen of Battles, who I expect to take a bit of the onus of being the so-called heavy. So yeah. Then I've got Professional Mean. That's right, another mean. Which lets me help people around me have access to my lore backgrounds. I can learn other people's lore backgrounds. I teach people twice as fast, and I gain new lore backgrounds every story.
Keep going.
Yeah. Insight Decorum, which is an occult, which gods and elementals count as having minor ties of professional respect to the Sidereal. Enemies count as having one of fear. So, if I give them no reason to take offense, they must hear her out when she speaks. Basically, like, hey dude, let's talk. Insight Decorum, it's like, hey, we can talk about this person to person professionally, negotiate this. They can spend willpower to ignore it. But they keep the tie. And yeah, if we start fighting them, etc., it gets broken, which is pretty typical. So Salt into Ash Slight I have as a prerequisite for a different Sail Charm I want.
So Salt into Ash Slight specifically lets you makes a special persuade roll against a spirit within medium range. Water elementals and other spirits associated with water count as having a major intimacy. Yeah. And if you succeed, that spirit recalls some unfinished business that they have in another place.
I should be somewhere else. That is a prerequisite for hostile enemies of fate cannot willingly come aboard the warded ship unless their essence exceeds the Sidereal's or they spend one willpower. Unexalted enemies of fate suffer +1 target number of rolls aboard it.
That's Walls of Salt and Ash.
Yeah, but that's essence
you
too.
You can't get that.
Yeah. But that's why I want it, is basically to be like, no entry. So, yeah. But also being like, you have something to do with your journey. Your journey takes you over there, not here. Shoo. Shadow Piercing Needle, which is a throne charm. Yes, there are unemployed gods in this world. Well, in creation, I assume that there still are in ours.
There absolutely are unemployed gods in this world.
Board gods are so flavorful. They're like one of the best types of gods to interact with, in my opinion. I'm not currently touching martial arts, but it's not completely off the table for me. It's just gonna be a later into character development. I'll buy it with experience. Shadow Piercing Needle, which reduces my target's soak to instead be their resolve and their temporary willpower, and reduces their hardness, which is good. And then I have Willful Weapon Method, which if I miss a decisive attack, I get to redo it with half my pool, half my initiative pool, and I don't lose. I only lose some of my initiative. So again, it's like, I didn't fail that. No, I didn't. Let's just retry that, shall we? Fate, let's do that again. That's my charm suite. That's 15. That's where I'm at.
Gil, when you're mentioning Throne Shadow style, The one hesitation that I'd make to recommend Throne Chattel style, because I did take a look at it for specifically for Steps Retaken, is that it kind of depends on manipulation. It's about subtlety and deception, which are things that very much are not Steps Retaken's wheelhouse.
Yeah.
Okay.
Divine Cup-O noodles, yes.
So,
Yeah.
15 charms.
Yeah.
Of your charms
Yeah.
that we have here.
Yeah.
Important to note a few.
Yeah.
So you've spent a bunch on dodge,
Yeah.
which, again, not a problem.
There's the flavor dodge charms.
And some throne.
Yeah.
So you have a decent combat suite.
Yeah, I have some options to hit things a bit better, which is helpful, and some options to not get hit as easily.
Yeah. So you have 2 throne charms. You have 4 dodge charms, but 5 actually.
Yeah.
But I'll point out that a lot of your dodge charms don't actually help you.
No.
Or they don't help you in battle.
Yeah.
They'll either help your guile,
Yeah.
which is something that you're going to need.
Yeah, help my guile, help my friends with a social influence role, help me balance, and help me defend other.
Which is one of the things about the Sidereal Charm set, is that despite the fact that dodge is a combat ability, a lot of the dodge charms don't actually matter at all when it comes to combat.
Aragorn, San Luis Obispo. I probably mispronounced that entirely. Hello, welcome. I am a chosen of journeys. My name is Steps Retaken. I use throne and dodge for my combats, and there's more details, but you can rewatch at some point, maybe, if you have the time.
And Gwenfu, just to check, there is no Pinkie Pack tonight, right?
I would imagine. I don't know, maybe they're going on a road trip to Pinkie Pack.
It's possible, but that's why I'm checking.
Space!
So...
Yeah.
Yes, Exalted very much is a system, like a lot of the World of Darkness systems. Exalted is very much the thing that does not specifically say you need to make a combat character.
Yeah.
It is recommended for Exalted to have a couple of combat charms because otherwise they can be kind of squishy. You don't really want to be squishy if you have a lot of enemies in a world where violence is a thing. But you very specifically make the character that you want to make. And in this case, we're making a character who is an intellectual, who has some social strengths, but also some very obvious social weaknesses. And that's really what we're kind of going for here. Unlike D&D, for instance, which, again, I'm not meaning to knock D&D, but D&D, most of the rules revolve around you overcoming encounters. And in that case, a lot of it is the violent aspect of it. But it's not really designed to be a deep system for dealing with things outside of combat. It's very in-depth for combat. Whereas Exalted has crunch for everything.
Yay, crunch. Yeah. Nice, Prometheus. Very nice.
Therefore, now that we've gone through your charms,
Yeah.
it's time to get into your intimacies.
All right, so my secret is... I tell you.
Okay, so for your intimacies,
Yeah.
a reminder.
Yeah.
You have to have
Yeah.
at least one defining, one major. You have to have one positive intimacy and one negative intimacy. You also, very specifically, will have intimacies that others will not know, that you and I will discuss, but no one else will know from the beginning of the game.
I'm going to keep my secrets secret.
As you should.
Yeah.
So why don't we get into your intimacies as they stand today?
So at the moment, my defining intimacy is I can set anyone on the right path. Defining. And so, again, with the understanding that the fine print is nudging them there, but it's that she has the celestial hubris that if she sets her mind to it, if she pokes the right way, she can just, nudge the tiller just a little bit, and we'll get to the far shore the case for other people. Then a major intimacy of knowledge must be preserved. So these are principles. And then a minor principle of stagnation leads to extinction, which I think has a hint of like duality with the knowledge being preserved. Like, it's not fully like, yeah, keep things and lock them down. Because things need to change. You need to travel. You need to develop. I'm only nudging them a millimeter, but it's changing their course, and they're gonna keep going. They're gonna keep evolving. So that's sort of her principles at the moment. And then I have some ties.
So
Yeah.
just before we get into the ties, or do you want? Actually, no. Let's finish it out.
I mean, we can do either if people have questions also.
All right, let's go for some ties.
Bureau of Destiny, Servitude. And I feel that's a major. I feel pretty good about that word. In that I'm not loyal to them, but I am in service of them. There's a sense of obligation, but it's not like her heart and soul is in it in the same way as it's more of an intellectual reason to work for them and with them. And here's one that I've already spoken to Scott about, but it is a minor tie: pirates, animosity. So going back to backstory, in her mortal self before re-exaltation, she was driving a ferry in what I'm going to currently propose as the Cinder Isles, somewhere where there's an archipelago, a lot of little islands, and so her parents ran the ferry that did all the deliveries between the different towns, things like that. So she grew up on the ferries and therefore had an occasional or frequent encounters with pirates, had to deal with pirates raiding their supplies to survive, because being an archipelago, no one island had enough resources to produce everything that everyone needed. But this is a minor tie. So it's the kind of thing that can easily be reduced or increased depending on what happens. But yeah, I spoke to Scott and he's cool with it, because we're good players and we talk to each other. I encourage you to do the same. Doesn't mean you have to like everything the other characters do, but you should probably let them know if you're going to start the game disliking something about them. Ferries, F-E-R-R-I-E-S, boats. It's fair. It could be the wild, but I'm talking about boats. I haven't lassoed a creature of the wild and giddy up.
So we're not going to get into the other ties that you've put on your sheet at the moment that refer to the other player characters.
No.
We're going to start with these.
Yeah.
So, I can set anyone on the right path.
Yeah.
The wording of this I'm just going to go over with you, because this is what I see in this. If you're defining intimacy as I can set anyone on the right path, that means that you're defining intimacy as about yourself. I can set anyone on the right path, as opposed to something like I will set people on the right path, or everyone deserves to be put on the right path.
Yeah.
So is it more...
No, it's celestial hubris.
So it's very much about yourself.
I think so.
So then how would you be able to go... When would that ever apply?
I think it's the context of like anyone that's doing anything wrong in her presence, and it's that I can rather than I will. So it's not an obligation. She can't fix everything, right? There's millions or whatever population is determined at this point in creation. She can't fix everyone, but she can fix anyone that she sets her mind to. And so it's the case of, I do feel like her wanting to take the social route a lot more often than a more combat-focused character would. When it comes to the example of pirates, like, they're pirates because they're desperate and hungry, and this is the only way they know. If I can teach them how to fish, they won't have to steal to eat, or whatever. Like, it's that kind of sense.
So I'm going to throw this out there. You tell me whether this applies. Somebody, you capture a pirate, say, right? Just some rando pirate, and everyone around you is like, kill him.
Yeah.
Kill him.
Yeah.
And then you're like ready to do it,
Yeah.
right, as everybody else, and then somebody says like, you know, if only he had somebody, if only he had a different way, if only he could have chosen a different path.
Yeah.
That means that I could then use this
Yes.
intimacy against
Yeah.
you, because I can imply you could fix him.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Now, not always. This isn't always going to come up,
No.
because, like you said, in here it says I can set anyone on
Yeah.
the path. So the other thing that I can say is that you could potentially use other intimacies that you have to fight against.
Yeah. For
But
sure.
it does mean that anybody who knows this about you
Yeah.
could potentially manipulate you into saying,
Don't kill me. Like, I'll change. I promise I won't do it again, right? That will definitely, like, pull my intimacy sort of thing.
because it could also imply somebody who wronged you in particular.
Yeah.
And you're looking for revenge.
Yeah.
And then all somebody has to do is be like,
I won't do it again. Like, I promise I'll change.
well, I
Bing.
promise I'll change.
Yeah.
I don't know if that would trigger
No,
it.
but it's that vibe, right?
But if somebody was like,
Yeah.
if somebody's like, help me change,
Yeah.
that is
Yeah.
the difference.
Yeah.
Not like, please
I mean,
save me.
it will still, like, I feel like my character will be inclined to try.
Sure.
Yeah,
And that's
because
fine.
of that.
It's just intimacy
Pirate hot tub.
in the social setting. We'll talk more about that next week.
Yeah.
But we have to make sure that they can apply.
Yes.
And when they would apply.
Yeah.
So this is what I was trying to get over
Yeah.
here. Knowledge must be preserved. I think that's pretty self-evident.
Particularly in the cyberpunk setting with world streams, the collapse thereof, that information, there was a time where anyone could kind of access information, maybe not as easily as cell phones today, but definitely like go to your local library and access a computer. Many people might have had computers in their homes or in their places of business, whereas that's broken down and the internet equivalent has sort of deteriorated. In terms of our world. So, this idea that there are hard drives being ferried about with information, scrolls, and so these scrolls are being carried around with information, but like, if the ship sinks and it's got a crate of scrolls on it, I might want to try to risk my life to save the scrolls, for example, but also just more generally speaking, if people are trading in knowledge, which I imagine there might be, certain knowledge is power, knowledge has value. I can see it coming up it feels very relevant to the setting to me. And that's why it's worth one of my first ties.
Now, the I believe. Sorry, just to answer. I think Blazing Chrome is appearance 2. Let me just check that.
He's in our chronicle. I can creep.
Yes, his appearance is 2. So, scrolls in our universe. Let's talk about that for a little bit. Now, the idea are that the Master Scrolls, where all the information could potentially be stored, is in the Imperial Manse, and now nobody can access them.
Yeah.
Okay. The world streams went down, and at the same point, nobody could get into the Imperial Manse through NetSpace or otherwise. NetSpace is another topic that we'll get into in a second.
Yeah.
But the concept of scrolls still exists, and scrolls are data.
Yeah.
The thing is that scrolls are delicate.
Yeah.
It's not like the equivalent of an SD card here where you can like throw it in the washing machine and it'll come out and it'll probably be fine, right? Like, scrolls aren't delicate like if you sneeze then they'll break, but they cannot be transported by air.
Yeah.
They must be transported over land or by water. The reasoning for this hasn't been completely nailed down, but it's probably going to be along the lines of technobabble, along the lines of like radiation in the sky.
Yeah, or like the air pressure differences.
Yeah.
Like, so also maybe can't travel by submarine. Like they've got, they're powered by mercury or something like the liquid mercury, not my.
The Persistence, the ship that you're traveling in.
Yeah.
The Persistence has a hold that is dedicated to holding scrolls. So it's also it's got enough systems that if the Persistence were sunk, the scrolls would survive.
Yeah, they'd just be in the safe.
Yeah,
we'd
they'd
have
be
to
in the
go
safe
diving.
at the bottom of the fucking ocean.
Yeah,
and
so
that's bad. But
hey, Blazing Chrome, you can hold your breath. Go
get the
dive.
fuck down there. We'll wait.
It's okay. I can give him bonuses. It's a journey. He's traveling somewhere. But yeah.
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 But scrolls are incredibly important because that's how knowledge is stored.
Yeah.
One of the things about Datafall, one of the themes that we're investigating is the idea of over-reliance on technology.
Yeah.
And the idea being that it used to be that everyone was just like, well, the internet will be here forever. The world streams will always be there. The master scrolls will always be accessible. And then they're not. In the same vein, that includes things like television, radio, your entertainment. Once it's fully digital, what do you do when you lose access to that? So when you're transporting these scrolls on the persistence, you're transporting very precious cargo, because it's also possible that the scrolls you carry may be the only copies in existence. It is difficult to copy a scroll. Yeah, just recreate the opening of Titanic. There you go. Elizabeth, does that make you Fabrizio? I kind of hope so.
Yeah.
We will recreate the ending, if only that if the persistence ever sinks, one of the NPCs is going to fall onto a propeller.
Whack. Meanwhile, you know, a different us and some NPC are gonna be out there doing this. That's gotta happen. Look, there's a fucking hot tub on our boat. It's gonna happen.
I should actually bring up the boat at some point if we have the time, but we are moving through a little faster.
Got a clip.
Quite the clip. But knowledge must be preserved. Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Stagnation leads to extinction.
Always got to be moving. It's not impatience. It's not the impatience law. Again, she is aware of her thousands of years of lifespan, but it is. She doesn't believe in staying in a rut. You know, she takes her position as a chosen of journeys very serious to mean that you can't stay put for long. You got to be working on something. Don't sit on your pile of gold. Use it. Things like that. So, I hope this will help us, as a group, sort of move around a bit more. Like, we'll have our ship, which will be our home base, is the thinking. But that we may hop around to different parts of creation more often, than just spending the whole campaign in Nexus, plus minus excursions. But also just on a personal level, on a global level, etc.
Important to note that you are expanding a little bit of what journeys do, but not so much, because the Chosen of Journeys make sure that everything goes where heaven wills. Not just people, but things too. So it could be as simple as you're holding all your money. We need to make sure this money gets to the place where it needs to go.
Yeah, exactly.
It could mean you're holding this knowledge.
Yeah.
I want to make sure that this knowledge gets to where it needs to go.
Yeah.
So that, in fact, is still well within the purview of a Chosen of Mercury.
Yeah.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, no. Just yes.
So, right now, this seems pretty good in terms of intimacies. Are there any others? Is there anything else that matters to
I do
to
have
steps?
a major principle that is currently secret. Let me leave secret. But there is something that drives her and will drive her in relation to the plot. She definitely cares about I guess this is diving again back into backstory, is this thought of her past exaltation. And typically when you the Bureau, especially in terms of the Sidereals, keeps a register. There's only 100 of them, so it's like keeping track of those and when they're going to be exalted, and sometimes tracking them down before they do, or as soon as they do. And the thinking is that my file got lost. So my exaltation has been missing, possibly for 150 years, or maybe 100, but like since before the world streams were at their height. So my exaltation memory is a bit out of time. Hashtag out of time. Back to the future stuff. And so there's this this vibe of like, not that the old ways were better, it's just being,
They're more familiar to you.
they're more familiar.
So
But I just don't know whether that's like a principle or a tie or anything.
let's talk a bit
Yeah.
about your backstory,
Yeah.
and then we'll see if anything
Yeah.
needs to slot into your intimacies
Yeah.
here. So you are correct.
Yeah.
There are 100 sidereal exaltations.
Yeah.
That's known.
Yeah.
Like straight up, 100.
Mhm.
However, the bureaucracy isn't perfect, and the whole like, let's make sure that we get these things back out in circulation. Maybe your file got kicked under a desk. Maybe somebody prevented it from going forward. In fact, you don't know.
No.
And by you, I mean Kate.
Correct.
Well,
Yeah.
also steps were taken.
I feel like
but-
the official story is that it got lost at the back of a filing cabinet. But whether that's actually the story or whether something else is going on, I'm very happy for that to be the answer. That's honestly fine. The bureau is not perfect. So yeah.
So
There could be more.
I have ideas
Yeah.
on what to do with that, but the idea that you have your past lives, which are very present in your mind, we're not going for like
Specifically the most recent one. Yeah.
we're not going for a your complete fish out of water. Everything around you is like, oh, I only remember from the long ago. Like,
Yeah.
no, but you have a lot of memories, and it's very present for
What
you.
is
What happened before.
this?
So, do you have a name for your most recent exaltation?
Ooh, that's a good question. I don't. I do know some things about them. I know that they were male, or male presenting, or something in that realm. And so I just want there to be that. It's not gender dysphoria or anything like that. I just
It's a
want there to be.
Dax situation.
Yeah, Jadzia Dax is a great example from Star Trek
Deep Space Nine.
Deep Space Nine. No, she didn't show up in. But yeah, the Trills, they also reappear in Discovery, and so they're a species that are like symbiotes with humans or humanoid persons, and so they, between incarnations, they might be in a different gendered body. I feel like Stargate also dealt with this with the whatever Teal'c was. It's been a long time since I've seen Stargate, but they also had that idea of like inhabiting a different body. And so yeah, it's just occasionally she might remember like, oh yeah, the view is splendid from that hot spring. Oh, that was the men's side of the hot spring. Never mind. Like, you know, things like that. Like just little details like that. And just, I think there might also...
I used to love whizzing off this cliff.
Right, gold, thank you. Just those little details, and there might be like, you know, between towns, right? We might go to some town and I'm like, oh yeah, like life is so great here, and it's a town that happens to be very like patriarchal, or oh, these people were assholes and they're very matriarchal. Like just little soupçons, little tastes of details from the world, from how the other half lives, sort of thing.
So then, may I suggest an intimacy towards your previous life?
That's great.
What level would it be?
It's interesting because I don't think of those memories as like, I guess it would be more of a tie than a
Yeah, no, this would be a
principle.
tie.
Yeah. Like nostalgia for now, and we'll give it something better.
But what are we thinking? Like a minor tie?
Maybe major.
Yeah, let's throw it in as a
It
major.
feels fresh, at least for now.
Nostalgia, let's respect. Could it be like the
Like
feeling
connection,
of an old friend?
like maybe connection.
Sure.
Something you've fleshed out and refined over time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't have to come up with the exact
Yeah.
wording here. But
Yeah.
I like the idea of you having, because the other,
Yeah.
for instance, Blazing Chrome
Yeah.
has no connection to his previous lives,
Yeah.
and often I don't think you would.
No.
But you do, and
Yeah.
I think that that's something that we can reflect, even if it'd be difficult, but not impossible
Yeah.
for somebody to challenge it, because somebody could come up and be like, is that what previous life would do.
Yeah.
And that could be a moment where you'd be like, huh.
Oh no, he would never, you know.
But it would be very
Yeah.
difficult to use
Yeah.
that against you because A, they'd have to know,
Yeah.
and B, they'd have to know what he would think.
But it doesn't mention in the Sidereal book that gods and like elder spirits and stuff will sometimes recognize
you threw me. Shit.
Sorry, but it's in the description, and that's part of it. Is that they may remember your previous self. They're just like, oh yeah, it's the spirit. Like they recognize the spirit rather than like the body.
Yeah. There might be a god
yeah.
up there who's like, you still owe me 5 obols of jade.
I don't remember that, but I'll trust you on that.
Yeah.
Or it's like, oh shit, yeah, I do. Sorry, man.
Whereas you might be
yeah.
more likely
Yeah.
to either remember or
Yeah.
care.
Yeah.
Whereas Blazing Crow might be like, that was some other
What the fuck
guy.
was that? I don't know.
Like, I don't give a fuck.
That's his problem. Yeah.
So
Yeah. You're probably right. Prometheus, like, it has been a very long time since I watched R8. Like, 18 years, maybe? Something like that. That sounds about right.
you grew up
Yes.
where?
So I'm saying the Cinder Isles. So yeah, I wonder if there's a connection to the Cinder Isles. I specifically don't want to take, apparently they're sort of mentioned in passing in a few books, but nothing super concrete. There might be something more concrete in Lunars. I'm going to say for now we're ignoring it unless it inspires us. Just in terms of what exists in the Cinder Isles. Like, I don't want a Thorin situation where it's like, oh, you're playing, you said you grew up there, you must be undead or
I haven't
whatever.
come across it, and so
Yeah,
therefore
exactly.
at the moment there isn't.
Um,
But do you have a... So the Cinder Isles,
Yeah.
one thing that you had described to
Yeah.
me was this concept that the Cinder Isles may not have had as many connections to the world streams
yeah.
as others, but there might have been one or two, right? Like at
Yeah.
a library, for
Because it's an archipelago, I assume there'd be like a couple larger islands that are sort of the bigger cities or the hubs.
better served.
You know, certain ones are like the trading ports of the archipelago rather than being like a big port at every single location. And so the thought is, yeah, that she'd have to go to the library to access the data streams and things like that. So the thing is, like, as with Sidereals, by becoming Sidereal, your family forgets who you are.
They sure fucking do.
So,
Arcane
like,
Fate's a real
yeah,
pain.
exactly. So it's that, like, I don't know. There's probably a word in some language for it, but it's that, like, mix of memory and sorrow and brokenheartedness of a place that you once called home that is no longer your home.
So, do the Cinder Isles, when steps are taken to things to the Cinder Isles, how does she feel about them?
I wonder if she feels like she's had to turn her back on. Like she's had to... It's something that she wishes she could help with, but feels that she can't because of her, she's no longer who she is. Like...
So is it
Yeah.
more I shouldn't go home again?
Yeah, I have to move on. Let's do that.
So instead
Or
of it being this
I had
Cinder-
to move on.
I must move on, or I
I
have.
Yeah, I have to move on, or yeah.
And is that a...
Yeah, see, that's a major. Because I can't find the like world map for whatever reason. I can find all the little maps, but anyway. Is that like she knows many of the struggles and the trials and tribulations. She was charismatic even before, you know, exalting and becoming even more so. But that she knows what their struggles are, and she believes that she could change them, right? I can set anyone on the right path. But because of the pain of going back there and all the people she knows not knowing her, she's like, I have to walk away.
So is it I have to move on, or I can't go home again?
I don't think it's a can't. I want to leave that open to us game-wise to return at some point. Possibly. We don't have to. But I'm open to that happening.
So I have to move on.
Yeah.
Gives me the impression that you would resist returning home.
Yeah.
Though it is possible.
Yeah.
Because one thing that's important to note about intimacies, which I said to Scott as well,
Yeah.
part of the great thing about intimacies is that there
Yeah.
will be times where you will have to go against them.
Yeah.
Right? Throw on some limit and let's fucking go, right? Saddle up. So this is an example of a time where it would help you if someone was like, we have to go to the Cinder Isles, and you might be like, I'm not going back.
Yeah. Nope.
Right?
Sorry.
That's just not a place for me. I don't go.
Yeah.
But at some point, if it becomes absolutely necessary, you're going to have to suck it up.
Yeah, exactly.
At which point, you're going to go back, and it's going to suck. Because the library that you spent so much time, the family that you've left behind, nobody will remember you.
Yeah.
And who knows what that's going to do.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
So we have this connection to your previous life.
Yeah.
We have a home that you can't return to.
Yeah.
And you also have this...
Sorry, can it be Cinder Isles? I have to move on. Just, I have to move on is a different story. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
So you have this sort of aspect of there will be places in the world that you have interacted with, that you've experienced, but when you did, you were someone else.
Yeah.
And that you have a little bit of a blur between your past self and present self. Not to the point where one would call this as, unfortunately, a derangement.
Yeah, or a split personality.
Yeah, like that. It isn't
like
that.
It's not that.
It's just more,
Yeah, it might be like, oh yeah, there's this great noodle shop. And it's like, that's been closed for 100 years. Oh, right.
Yeah.
Details like that.
Which means that you have less experience with the cyberpunk world, but not zero.
No.
How, for the lack of a better term, how remote is the Cinder Isles in your mind towards the rest of the world in terms of its cyberpunkiness, shall we say?
Yeah, I feel like it's got like small town, remote regions, far north vibe sort of thing, where it's not that they don't have internet or cell phones, it's just like they're going to have slower speeds. Not everyone's going to have them. So it's something that she would have interacted. It reminds me of, back in the 90s going to the library to play SimCity.
You didn't have SimCity at home, you had it
I
at the
eventually
library.
did, but not then.
So it's not that they're unaware.
Yeah.
It's not that they are isolationist. It's just the people who live there are either, I live here because I prefer a simpler
That's where
life,
they're from, yeah.
or I live here because this is my home.
Yeah, exactly.
And, sucks to miss out on a bunch of these things, but we don't
Yeah,
have them.
and like in the map is sort of, a C shape with the Blessed Isle in the middle, and they're sort of down in one side, and there's a lot of ocean around, so they're also just in terms of like the physical traveling of information and resources and these things. And I also feel like part of this, what I think of the setting being is a lot of trying to have enough resources to survive. I know at some point someone mentioned Moana, and I think there's like a hint of like that, we have limited resources.
Stagnation leads to extinction.
Stagnation leads to extinction, so there is like needing to... people's main focus is survival. I don't think they're like actively dying or anything, but they don't have so much abundance of resources.
That's plenty of creation.
Yeah, exactly. They don't have so much resources that this really cool thing took a priority in spending their resources towards, as opposed to building better dams against flooding and tides.
They're not rich enough to say, we're going to develop a huge infrastructure to access world streams.
Yeah, everyone's going to have a terminal in their house. It's like, no, we've got the one in the library. It's great. It's awesome.
But otherwise, we're going to prevent incursions from the wild.
Yeah,
we're
exactly.
Going to prevent,
exactly.
Right? Like, because that's one thing that I want to make sure that we don't lose. Creation is still creation.
Yeah.
The Yozi still exist.
Yeah.
The fair folk still exist. Demons, elementals, gods, all of this stuff are still part of the cyberpunk world.
Yeah.
And just because we have access to things like cell phones doesn't mean that you also don't have to be like, but every once in a while we have to make sure that we deliver an offering to the shrine, to the local river god, because otherwise our ass gets flooded every fucking year.
Yeah, exactly.
These things still matter.
Yeah.
But there's a question that I wanted to ask
Yeah.
specifically about this. You have intimacies like stagnation leads to extinction. I have to move on. How did Steps Were Taken feel before she exalted about where she lived? Was it like was it a Belle situation where you're like, there must be more to this provincial life?
I think it's that. I think she loved the life she had. She loved seeing all the different islands and like connecting with all these people, getting to know them. And I think she had a bit of that. Like she could fit in with all these, slightly different settings, but she knew that she was just in a little corner of the world, and she loved the stories and the information that she could access from the world streams. So there was always in her mind that someday she would go somewhere where she hadn't.
She'd leave the archipelago.
Somewhere bigger, like a city, like somewhere like Nexus or the West.
So she's never been out of that.
She may
before
have,
exaltation.
She may have like taken probably not like traveling the world, but she may have at one point gone on a single trip to like a large city, probably still in like the southwest or the west or the south sort of thing.
Is that perhaps how you exalted?
Maybe.
You finally took the big journey, and that's what kind of triggered you?
Could be.
Okay, that's a thing that we can think about.
Yeah.
That's not something that we absolutely have to
We're
establish.
gonna have
right now.
exaltation episodes 75 episodes from now, right? Like
We didn't do first change episodes.
That's true. That's true.
I like the idea of this trip, but there's something else that we need to talk about.
Yeah.
And that is NetSpace.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about NetSpace, because I think that's important. But first I need to ask, do you need a break?
I have my drink. I don't need the bathroom. How are you? I'm gonna refill my drink while we've paused for
I
a
don't
second.
break.
Yeah, whatever.
What the fuck?
You're allowed to take a break once in a while. Sometimes you do. Once every like 30 sessions.
Weirdness is completely correct. I finally went on my world trip, and it led me to end this paperwork. Woof.
I'm gonna, take a gap year, see the world. Pushing pencils forever.
Pencils forever. All right. Now.
Netscape Navigator. Let's go. Netspace.
Did I share I must have. I did not. I need to share the campaign frame to our communal to Exalt Twitch.
Oh,
I haven't done that, but I can do that now.
I guess I don't need the script for the play this week. Open.
Probably not.
Shared with me. These are our characters.
There we go. Done. Got it. Okay, now.
Yeah, I'm just opening it so I can. Oh, also getting an email. Thank you. Yep.
So we have here, in our campaign, if you are a member of our Patreon, you actually have access to the campaign frame as it exists right now. Now, that's a living document. We've already had a few suggestions as to what we can do.
Yeah.
For instance, at one point we were using an acronym which is a cyberpunk term, which we're not going to use because it's kind of been co-opted by other forces. So we're changing it. Things like that are perfect for highlighting things to us, maybe things that we haven't thought about, that I haven't thought about, so that we can change things. But one of the things that we're not calling it Exaltube.
No.
We were thinking about it.
Exalt Twitch felt good. Exaltube feels a bit forced.
No, at the moment it's just Datafall.
Yeah.
So what we are trying to do here, alongside the Persistence, which is the ship, which we might get into after that, what we also have is the concept of NetSpace.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to read from the campaign frame, and we'll discuss a bit about what it means. Hacking takes too damn long. Executables are easily countered. The true masters know that only conscious thought can beat an artificial sentience, but it needs a direct connection. Enter NetSpace, a digital world that allows the chosen to interface through local network connections. In NetSpace, you're represented by an avatar, the digital self. You keep all the abilities you have in real space, and your essence manifests the weapons and armor that you carry. Materia inserts, so for instance your armor, Silicon Armor, carry over into NetSpace 2 through the same local network. There are ways to protect streams in NetSpace. Programs intended to defend against intrusion keep runners honest. Some, officially known as blockades, are represented in NetSpace as physical obstacles. So these would be things that you would have to overcome in NetSpace, like a massive wall, a cliff, an ocean. Others, known as daemons, appear as living creatures or monsters who use artificial sentience and built-in instruction sets to defend their servers. So, what this means is that there are places where only the Exalted can slipstream into NetSpace through access points.
Yeah.
Slipstreaming is essentially you jacking into NetSpace, and NetSpace is a virtual environment that exists that you can interact with others, and you can interact with a network. You can access scrolls through a NetSpace. You can potentially communicate incognito with other people. Mortals can access networks, but only through terminals. They can't enter into a network. They can only, because you need to be able to put your essence in there, and they just don't have that kind of control. But they can access through terminals and the like.
Yeah.
The Chosen have the ability to slipstream and enter NetSpace through access points. When you're jacked in, you actually lose consciousness in the real world. Your consciousness goes straight into the network itself. It's possible that you can jack out at any time if you have focus. So in battle, you'd have to escape battle before you can jack out.
Yeah.
It allows you to explore these digital worlds, but essence feedback is still a thing, which means if you spend enough essence that your anima starts to flare, it flares in both the digital world and the real world. So wherever you are currently passed out, you'll start flaring.
Yeah.
Which at, glowing, maybe that's not such a big deal. At iconic, that could be a problem. The other thing is, any damage that you take in NetSpace, essence feedback will do that damage to your physical body, which means that you can't just enter the NetSpace and then, fling yourself off a cliff and expect your body to be fine.
Yeah.
You can, in fact, flatline in NetSpace, and therefore you will die in real space. If you die in game, you die in real life.
Yeah.
Spirits are able to go into NetSpace depending. Some spirits are capable of it, some are not. It depends on your ability to manipulate and control essence.
Yeah.
This is essentially a flavor mechanic.
Yeah.
It lets us go to places that we wouldn't normally be able to go.
Yeah.
It lets us experience worlds that we wouldn't normally be able to experience. The original idea for this was actually an old animated series called Reboot. Canadian.
Yeah.
And the idea that in Reboot there were games that would pop down, and then you would enter the game, and then you would have to essentially accomplish the game.
Yeah.
Now, we're not necessarily going in terms of games, but the idea is that if there was ever an environment that we wanted to explore, we could through NetSpace. Yes, Sidereals do have an anima banner.
Yeah.
They manifest a little bit differently, but also very specifically, 3rd edition has a different anima for Sidereals than other editions, where they just didn't have that. Now they do.
Yeah, here they do.
Yeah. Warning. Incoming game. That's actually, you want to say?
Yeah, during pre-show, these lights pop on as part of various programs open on our computer. It moves windows to where we want them, stuff like that, and it turns on our stream lights, these bright lights that allow us to be decently lit. But it kept shocking us because it's in the timeline, and it's 10 seconds after I press the button, and people kept being like, oh god. So now it says, warning, incoming game. Warning, incoming game. Click. I just felt,
Just mostly
a mild way of alerting us rather than playing an actual alarm.
Yeah. It was normally it's not a thing. It's just if you happen to be looking at the light when it comes on, it sucks.
Yeah.
So
it's surprising. Yeah.
Yeah. So these are ways for us to allow also for another way for Exalted to interact. It used to be that when the world streams are active, NetSpace could gather people from across the world, across creation, and now they can't.
Yeah.
Now networks are only local. Now local can mean different things. in some major cities, you might have a net space that expands throughout the entire city. For certain corporations or government facilities, you might have private net spaces where only if you are on site can you access them. The persistence can jack into local, like city net spaces, but if you want to jack into, say, a corporation's, you've got to be on that site. You got to be at that corporation, or if maybe you're smart about it, the CEO might have a private node in their residence, so you break into the CEO's house, right? So there are ways that you can access NetSpace from different locations, but the persistence can't just jack into any network it wants. Otherwise, you would never have to leave the ship.
Yeah, exactly. Like we can't be on the Blessed Isle and jack into Nexus. Like that's not the case.
Right.
Yeah.
So it does mean that you have 1 HP track.
Yeah.
Because if you take damage, you take damage.
Yeah.
It also means that your Anima banner applies to both worlds. If you're iconic in net space, your real body will flare as well.
Yeah.
And you can't physically travel.
Yeah.
through a slipstream.
I can't hop into one end and come out the other side. Your body stays put.
Except one kind. And a kind that's very specific to your abilities. You want to say what that is?
Well, I mean, Chosen Journeys once per story can teleport some people, but that's regardless of, no?
You know where to find portals to get back into Yushan.
Right.
Yushan Heaven has various access points in creation.
Yeah.
And one of the abilities of the Chosen of Journeys is the ability to know where the nearest one of these portals is.
So you're saying that we could somehow through NetSpace find one?
The portals
Our
that
body
get back
would
to
still
heaven.
be at home.
It's so they have
Yeah.
they have the ability to connect to NetSpace, but you can also travel physically.
Okay.
It's the one exception.
Okay. Cool.
You can physically go to heaven through these nodes.
Okay. So I would be on the ship, jack in, travel in this, net space, and then go to that portal, and my body would come out the other side.
It would be more like if the ship was in the presence of the portal.
Oh.
Once you jack in, your physical body goes to heaven.
Okay.
You have to be in the location of the portal.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Okay.
I may actually just make it so that that's not net space. In fact, probably that's better.
Yeah.
It's less confusing. So we'll just change that.
Yeah.
So we're actually just going to delete that then from there. So it's not that you slipstream into heaven. You just go to heaven.
Yeah.
Go to heaven.
Okay.
The phone booths from the Matrix. So real quick, well, that's pretty close.
Yep.
It's pretty close.
Yeah.
You tron your way to Yushan. I mean,
Yeah.
that could be a thing.
I'm in.
I'm in.
Then I got in. Meow, 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 meow.
If only we were allowed to play Daft Punk. That would be amazing. So, we have NetSpace, but why don't we take a look at the ship?
Yes.
So let's see if I can just do
Is
a
that
quick
in
window
our file
capture here.
server?
Oh, do we want to just show
I
the
don't know.
images?
I don't know. What are you gonna show? I don't know what you were gonna show.
Yeah, I suppose we could just show the images. Let me see if it's on the file server, and if not, I can put it there. Da-da-da.
I'm not.
It would be in another location here. One sec. Because I made a very specific folder for it, and I ditched my entire computer and reinstalled from scratch. Because
I'm on a boat.
there we go. Got it. Okay. So let's take a look at the ship itself.
Yeah.
Starting with the sun deck.
Sure. Boop. We can just zip that down.
Put it right down there.
Yeah.
Let's make it.
Yeah.
So the sun deck
Yeah.
is the top deck of the ship itself. It's the deck that is outside
Yeah.
for the most part. We have a hot tub and a pool up at the top.
Very important.
On the sun deck, these sit at the highest point of the ship, making them the perfect places to chill out while gazing over the horizon. There's also a gym where you can train, but it has retractable walls and dome for privacy. It's also used as a place for ceremony or even formal duels. And it also is the location of the Mark 85 missile battery, which is the main gun of the Persistence. This gun is controlled using the War ability.
I have 1 dot for now. I haven't spent it. We can go back to that.
There had to be a hot tub.
Yeah.
So the idea of the Persistence is that it's a retrofitted yacht.
Yeah.
It used to be a pleasure vessel.
Yeah.
And now it's been retrofitted in order to transport cargo, but the Exalted get to travel in style.
Yeah.
You're not going to drive some kind of garbage scow, right? Like,
Yeah.
come on.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's also it, is that it was like commandeered. So, you know, the Bureau has commandeered this vessel. And, yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Following the sun deck, we also then have the upper deck.
Yeah.
Not the
You can just
trading
replace the
card.
file.
Nah.
You're just gonna resize it.
Yeah, we'll just replace the file. Fine.
Yeah.
So the upper deck
Mm-hmm.
is the deck that's just below the sun deck.
Yep.
So on a ship,
Yep.
this is also a place where there's a lot of room to maneuver on the outside.
Yep.
We have a terrace,
Yep.
which is a
Open to air.
It's open
Yeah,
air. It's
yeah.
al fresca. We have the rec, which is a recreation room.
Yeah.
There are so many bars on this
Yeah.
ship.
Got couches, bar, tables. Yeah.
Yeah. There are guest quarters,
Mm-hmm.
which they're not quite as extravagant as the VIP quarters. We'll show
Yeah.
you that on the main deck.
Yeah.
But we also have your quarters.
Yeah.
The captain's quarters are up here. They're right next to the bridge.
Mm-hmm.
And utilitarian screens provide readouts of the ship's position and condition, despite the bridge being literally on the other side of the wall.
Yeah.
Just because.
Just so that I can be aware. There are fancier quarters the next floor down, but I specifically feel like my character would want to be close to the bridge. So yeah.
The bridge, of course, is where the action happens. Now, the Persistence can navigate on its own using programming subroutines, but it still takes a skilled captain at the helm during complicated maneuvers, or an exalted captain, or a captain, or at least a pilot that is being influenced by an exalted.
Yep. Go there. Do that.
And we also have the ready room, which
Yep.
is down here, below the captain's quarters on the starboard side. The ready room being a place for briefings and meetings just
Yeah.
off the bridge.
Yeah.
If we look at the main deck, now the main deck has aft, it has the promenade,
Yeah.
right, which is also extends around the side, so it's a place where you can stroll along the outside of the ship. It's a running track if you need it to be. The mess on the inside is the dining area. So this is the place where typically people would eat. The galley is just at the port side,
Yeah.
although you currently don't have an official ship's cook,
Nope.
and you don't have any crafts. So at the moment,
Brought
Blazing
in.
Chrome is the one that you're
Oh,
relying on.
nice. Nice. Oh, I kind of love that, though. I'm thinking Pancake Daddy from a game that you worked on. Just big arms. Yeah, making pancakes.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah.
Yeah, sadly, no longer available.
Mm-hmm.
Then, let's take a look at the VIP quarters.
Yeah.
This is the most luxurious cabin
Yeah.
that exists.
Yeah.
It has a private lounge, just 2 bathrooms, its own view screen, a writing desk, more closet space than you could possibly want, alongside the fact that I was originally going to offer this as the captain's quarters, and then I was convinced otherwise.
Yeah, this is where you take the honeys back. Yeah, Sophia's quarters, or the quarters we take turns using when we bring someone special on board. For whatever reason, they're special.
So you hang a sock on the outside of the VIP quarters.
Correct.
There's also the captain's yacht.
Yes.
So this is a private boat for the captain and officers to
Mm-hmm.
disembark when you're not moored at port.
Correct.
So this is your ability to just
Yeah.
sailing out of there.
Yeah.
And there are ion cannons. The ion cannons are port and starboard weapons. These are controlled by archery, not war. Thing is, these weapons may also end up being less effective than
or
somebody
exalted
using,
abilities.
like you throwing things
Yeah.
might actually be better. But we'll see.
Huck cannonball, grab the cannonballs and huck shot put.
And then we have the lower deck.
Not the television show.
So the lower deck includes the launch.
Yep.
This is where the other boats are. So this is how the rest of the crew would get in and around.
Yep.
You can also access sea level from here. So
Yeah.
if you wanted to like fish off the end of the boat, this would be aft on the lower deck. The hold is where the dedicated compartment for carrying scrolls is. It also can just be a standard cargo area.
Yeah.
The hub is the place where you can access net space on the ship.
Yeah.
It's possible to jack into some local streams
Yeah.
wirelessly from here, but others
Yeah.
you'd have to actually leave.
Yeah.
Engineering is also... Oh, good.
Can you hide that later?
Yep. The engineering
Yep.
is where... Here, hold on. I think I have another version of this. Give me a second. I actually have to move it back. How do I get it back on the screen? I just absolutely yeeted it off there.
You can go edit, transform, or transform, edit.
There we go.
And reset.
No,
No,
nothing happened. I don't know what you're talking about.
I still don't know what you're talking about.
Still have no idea.
Mhm.
I need to find the other one, the patron post. I should still have access to it here.
You saw nothing.
Nobody saw anything. Everything is wrong.
Yeah.
There we go.
It also said bleeding chrome, so you know, details. Shot put.
There we go. Let's go here. And then we can put it back on the screen. Where did it go?
Yeah, so in the hold, there's a spot to hold. Hold can hold. Specifically, data scrolls. A dedicated hold for those, and also the hub, which is a dedicated spot to jack in to net space.
Well, I have to apologize to Elizabeth there.
Yep.
Did not realize that version had the name on it. Well, whatever.
Yep.
This is the one you get.
Yep.
Take that,
Yep.
everybody.
It's okay. We'll go back and we'll edit out that section of the stream. It'll have never happened.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
That'll work.
Yeah.
Wait, why is this? Oh, because that's the archive. Haha. All right. Whatever. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, at any rate, yeah, Arcane Fate. You won't
Yeah.
remember.
Yeah,
Everything's
exactly.
everything is
Everything's
the way
fine.
it is.
Yeah.
At any rate,
Yeah.
here in the lower deck,
Yeah.
engineering is down here.
Yep.
You do not have a dedicated engineer at the moment.
Oh, you're a perfect Hollywood writer, Liz. You're hired. Stamp. Yep.
Sickbay
Mhm.
is down here along with doctor's quarters. You currently do not have a ship's doctor. This is where the other PCs have their quarters. And also we have general quarters.
Quarters.
And finally the brig.
Yep. So the PC quarters has a bed and a desk and a closet and a private bathroom. And they have little windows to see outside. Sick bay, doctor's quarters, much the same, but they have 2 beds. And then the general quarters has bunks. So if we accumulate more NPCs and our crew, it will live there.
And I think the point is that you will.
Yes.
When we play, you tend to develop some relationships with some NPCs, not just you, but the other players as well. And we got to put them somewhere.
Yep.
And now you have a big floaty ship that you can carry them around with you.
Yep.
So the persistence, for the first time, we have a map.
Yeah.
For the home area,
Yep.
I've resisted doing that in the past because
Yep.
I don't do maps, but there we go.
Yep.
Maps. And I screwed this one up anyway.
No. I think it's cool. I think it's a great map. It's based off of a real yacht whose name is
The Amnesia.
The Amnesia, which feels so perfect for a sidereal campaign as much as we call it the Persistence. So thanks for finding that. Thanks for modifying it. I think it's super cool. It's exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we have materia,
Yeah.
which we can discuss. So, weapons and armor, they're common in the world, but some of them, which are artifact capable, contain slots for materia. So materia are chips made out of the 5 magical materials,
Yep.
which basically turn them into artifacts.
Yeah.
Other materia can derive their power from hearthstones. And materia also allow you to carry your artifacts into NetSpace.
Yeah.
It's important to note that not all artifacts are weapons or armor. There are some wonders that exist, wonders that can be powered using materia. And one thing that all artificial sentiences in our game, which we'll get to in a second, they also all rely on materia.
Yeah.
Was the last owner a tall guy? I'm not sure what that means, weirdness. Do you mean the yacht, or?
Because I think HMS Persistence.
I don't think it'll be the HMS Persistence. We'll have to figure out what the designation
No, that's
will be.
Perseverance is what I'm thinking of.
The Amnesia? I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it's a
Who
yacht that
knows?
you can rent, to be honest. I think it's one of those, like, you're super rich and you want to show everybody a good time, you can rent this yacht. It comes with a crew. And you get the shit hot quarters. So we also have artificial sentiences in our game. Now, the reason why we're calling them artificial sentiences is because they're currently, the term AI is loaded.
Yeah, and it means something that is very different than what it used to mean in cyberpunk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So AI, even today, AI means about 700 different things. But right now, all anybody thinks about when they think about AIs are either LLMs or various image generating, which is also in some ways LLMs kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
Like, and that's not what artificial intelligence is in our game. So we're calling them artificial sentiences.
Yeah.
And artificial sentiences are artificial life that are powered through code and materia. So they're capable, but only within their data sets. So a good way to think about an artificial sentience would be like in the Marvel films, right? Jarvis before Jarvis became Vision, or Friday, right? So the voice that's inside Tony Stark's helmet kind of thing. So they can be quite intelligent. They can talk to you. They can even experience a certain amount of emotion, but they're limited in what they can and can't do, and their breadth of knowledge and their breadth of experience. So an artificial sentience isn't necessarily somebody who's like, well, I dream to one day not be a toaster. No, if you're an artificial sentience and you live in a toaster, that's who you are. And you're just like, yeah, my job is to be a toaster. It'd be a huge waste to put an artificial sentience in a toaster. And that's why a lot of things are fucked up in the world of Datafall.
Yeah.
Because a lot of these artificial sentiences lived in the Imperial Manse and projected themselves through the world streams to a lot of different places. So you might not have had an artificial sentience inside a toaster, You could have had a sentience that was in every toaster, and then one day that sentience walked off from everything else. Who knows if it's still alive? It could be, but no one can know because you can't access the Imperial Manse. Therefore, the remaining artificial sentiences that live outside are relatively rare, and they're coveted. Right now, most of the people who have access to them either are part of government or huge corporations which have the money to be able to afford to buy these things. So, or to be able to afford the networks that provide the infrastructure so that they can live. So they do exist. We may even meet an artificial sentience or two on our journey, but I should note, alchemicals are not the same thing. An alchemical is an alchemical because of their exaltation.
Yeah.
And they are currently very rare to non-existent.
Yeah.
People don't know about alchemicals in general.
But they're people. They're not.
Yes, they are people.
They're not like.
Luxembourg, that's a good way of putting it.
Yeah.
A weaver jagling, perhaps a little more or a little less powerful depending on the level of sentience that we're talking about here. But yes, that's a good way of looking at it. Do they interact with NetSpace? They absolutely do. And in fact, some of the daemons that you might interact with in NetSpace are in fact ASs.
Yeah.
So you might end up fighting Strix,
Yeah.
you know, in NetSpace,
Yeah.
which is actually not a Strix at all, but an artificial intelligence has taken the form of a Strix.
Yeah. Yeah.
Although Strixes can and do still exist in creation. So, you know. And finally, some miscellaneous. So cell technology does exist, but long distance communication still doesn't work. So phones might be able to exist, but you can only communicate in your node, so your city. And some cities may even have multiple nodes that can't communicate with each other depending on the level of unrest, right? You might say, for instance, hey, in Nexus, we've put the slums off the main grid because we don't want them to be able to communicate with the rest of us.
It would.
Noxember, I would totally understand.
Yeah.
In Requiem, yes. Then also firearms. So we haven't come to a full conclusion on what firearms are going to look like.
Yeah.
Because some of that depends on if a player wants to be able to wield a bow. Right now you're just thrown, so we don't. We're going to talk about your weapon in a bit.
Yeah.
But the idea is that firearms are kind of obsolete in that bullets are just things that are easily blocked.
Yeah.
Things like thrown weapons or archery are delivered with certain kinetic impacts, which, while they aren't like firearms, at least still can pierce through even the most basic armor.
Yeah.
So therefore, they're still in existence. However, if a player ends up saying, I want to use archery, but I think I'd rather it be a gun, okay, I'm fine with that. Doesn't really matter to me. At this point, it's more rule of cool than anything else. But you want to use thrown weapons.
I do.
Talk to me about your weapons.
So I initially was looking at needles until I realized that they don't actually do damage unless you poison things, and I don't want to poison things. So instead I'm looking at either darts or shuriken, and they're small enough and cheap enough that I think we're gonna do both. So they're both light thrown weapons. The only difference is that darts are medium and shuriken are short.
Range.
Yeah, medium range, short range. Both are lethal, both are concealable and used while mounted, though shuriken can be poisoned, darts cannot. In the book it describes darts as 30 centimeters long, which is about 12 inches, a foot, length of your usual school ruler. I kind of prefer the flavor of thinking of them closer to like throwing darts.
So the reality is,
yeah,
darts have the concealable.
Yeah, exactly. Same thing with shuriken.
Same thing with shuriken, and so therefore I don't give a fuck.
Yeah. And the thought is that my character has them like lining her coat, sort of thing. That she's got little pouches and stuff and little pockets and things to have them in, and the shuriken aren't like your typical, ninja throwing star. that they at first glance look like a coin, but if you look at it for more than half a second, hashtag half a second, they have a button that you press and then the little blades pop out. But it just means she won't like cut her fingers if she reaches into her pocket. Purely flavor, but it just feels a bit more cyberpunk as well. To have something like just a little chink. That ching.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's easy to afford however many that you
Yes.
could possibly want.
Yeah.
That's not the issue.
Yeah.
The idea, though, is that you're using concealables. War
Yeah.
boomerangs are cool, but they're not concealable.
Yeah. I was also thinking like fans, which I don't think are thrown. But there are a few weapons that were kind of neat, but this just feels right as a character that I don't feel like is terribly combat focused and is much more interested in social negotiations, to not walk around carrying a visible weapon. I ended up going down Throne because it's a favored ability for, or it's a cast ability.
Yep.
So I was like, great, Throne, let's do it. Yeah, I just like the idea of just going shing. Just feels sort of small and subtle, and I don't feel like I'm going to be the big damage dealer. Leaving that to Scott. Had his own demise. But there are abilities to pull people range band towards me or push them a range band away and stuff like that, so I do hope that I can do a bit of assistance in combat, sort of in a more support.
And we're not going to get to your birth sign. I don't think we
No,
need to worry about that.
Yeah.
And that's going to take a little more looking
Yeah.
through the book.
Haven't spent my bonus dots yet.
You haven't spent your bonus dots.
Yeah.
I was wondering whether you wanted to talk about your allegiance.
Is that gold versus bronze faction?
Yep.
Gold faction, but very quietly so. I mean, not that anyone... Maybe there's like one or two in all of Sidereals that walks around with a pin. But it's usually pretty quiet. But yeah, gold faction. And it's
less a I want to return
it's not
the
like I think
solars.
solars are great. It's more I'm not sure this is the answer. I'm not sure destroying them is the answer.
That the
yeah.
current system is the way to go.
Yeah, and some of that is tied to like stagnation leads to extinction. Keeping them locked, knowledge must be preserved, right? Locking the solars away, killing them all the time. That's just burying something, rather than pushing them in the right direction. Yeah.
So,
Hello, thank you. Hi, Lydia.
hey, Lydia.
Yeah.
So, this is your sheet
Yeah,
as it stands
but
right
I've
now.
got bonus dots.
Bunch of cool stuff, but you do have 15 freebie points to spend. You have
That's a
spent
lot.
currently none. Now, there are some that I think you've already plotted out, but there's some that you haven't. So why don't we take a look?
I haven't plotted any. Like,
Well, you're going to need some more on some
fives
of
are
your
really
abilities.
useful. I don't actually, based on my current term set. But, oh no, I do need dodge 4.
All right. Well,
Let's start with that.
let's take a look. Your bonus
Yeah.
points.
Yeah.
So you are going to need dodge 4
Yep.
at least. So
Yeah.
that's 1 spent.
Ooh, but having 5s is really good because in Sidereals, having a 5 lets you add so if you have 3, you can spend some notes to reduce the target number
Here
by
you're talking about the excellencies.
the excellencies. So
With ability 5,
yeah,
so with ability 3, you can pay 1 mote to reduce your target number by 1.
I printed out this page specifically.
With ability
Yeah.
5,
Yeah.
you can reduce your target number by 2.
Yeah.
And if you have ability 5 and essence 3, you can reduce it by 3.
Yeah. which
So
is
this
a
means that
lot.
instead of needing to hit a target number of 7,
Yeah.
you would only need to hit a target number of 6 or 5
Yeah.
if you have the ability at 5.
Which feels so powerful. So I do think I'm going to spend 2 bonus points each in Throne and Dodge.
So that's 3,
That's
4
4.
bonus
Yeah.
points that you've spent so
Yeah.
far. Lydia, that's what we're here for. 100% completely. Sidereal,
Yeah.
chosen of the 5 maidens, they deal with fate,
Yeah.
specifically in destiny, and trying to figure out how to engineer certain destinies and fates in the world of creation. Okay, so you've got your combat abilities up at the top, but you've also said specifically that you're not solely a combat focused character. So is it worth it to get a 5 in something else?
Yeah, let's look at my charms. What do I also have a lot in? I have a couple bureaucracy, lore, sale, cult. One thing I did while we were waiting for our Sidereal's book to get to us, and with shipping,
Took a bit of time.
yeah, we weren't sure, so we went and printed it. I ended up putting I printed it out, and then I put little dots, stick-on dots to indicate charms that I found interesting. There's a couple of resistance ones that are kind of interesting to me. What was it? Was it athletics? I think we all talked. No, awareness. Oh, no, awareness charm that we talked about. All being kind of interested in, but we don't have any of those charms yet. Okay.
So Lydia, one of the ways in which Exalted kind of differs is that it's a much higher power level than your typical World of Darkness character. For instance, just for attributes, instead of 753, you're looking at 864. Abilities, you get a ton, and in Exalted, deeds such as, for instance, moving an entire city on your shoulders from one mountain to another, while that would be a huge deal, it's not outside the realm of possibility. Yeah. That kind of thing, right? Like you would have to be a pretty damn high level character to do that, but like you are essentially a demigod from moment 1. Yeah. And then you just get more powerful.
Yeah, that's specifically it. I was like, ooh, I didn't know whether I want to like have 5s in anything, and it's like, oh no, I actually should. Yeah, you can take 5. Yeah, you're a demigod. Very anime coded. Dragon Ball. Literally, like the hair going Super Saiyan is like your anima glowing. And like shonen anime. So like Bleach. He is extremely. I feel like Bleach is extremely exalted coded. If you've ever watched or read that. Dodge 5 is the thing that lets me relocate an entire neighborhood. Dodge of all abilities. I think I might want a bit more sale.
Sale.
5s, but the thing is, it's so cheap to get the 5 now that it feels so tempting to min-max.
That's not a bad idea.
So 2 for sale. So, I think I want another dot of athletics.
Okay, so sorry, for sale, are you going to
5? Sale 5.
Okay. And another dot in athletics, putting up to 3.
Yeah.
Okay, you have spent 7.
Yeah. Unfortunately, for better for worse, the charms in Sidereals are organized by each maiden rather than truly alphabetically. So I'm just flipping. Lore, I might want some charms for. Anything higher?
It is so one of the kind of givens here is that one of the least efficient ways to spend bonus points is on charms.
Yeah, I'm good.
But remember that you are going to get we're starting with a heavier XP flow at the start, which will then taper off when you hit Essence 2 and then Essence 3.
Yeah.
So you're still going to get a chance to buy a whole bunch of charms. You don't have to worry about that. Some of the things that you can spend on, just I'll remind you, you can also increase attributes, although at the moment your attributes feel pretty good for the character
They're higher
concept.
than I thought I was going to have. I was down by 2. So, like, I feel super OP.
So you're fine on that.
Yeah.
So, other than abilities, there's also merits.
Yeah. I'm happy with my merits.
And it looks like you're happy with your merits. There are evocations, but that's sort of the same as charms. And there's willpower.
Yeah, I think I might pump my willpower a bit, which, because I have other, like, low integrity, low guile, the resolve, I feel like I want to have some way of resisting things, but it to be like I like the idea that it's Dodge 5, on 5. Skill 5. 6.
Athletics 3. That's 7.
Yeah.
So willpower is 2 per dot. And willpower is also, remember, in terms of things like in social things, you can spend willpower in order to resist, but like your integrity is still low. Your guile is still going to be low. Those are not dependent on your willpower.
Yeah. Ooh, socialize 3.
You want socialize 3?
Yeah.
Okay, you're up to 8. And one of the things I'll point out is that technically, athletics not being one of your favored charms would cost you 2, but instead we can just say that your socialize was at 1 and then you pump that up twice.
Yeah,
It's kind of silly that it does that.
Yeah.
I think it's just mostly to make sure that if you're putting a 4 or a 5 in a non-favorite or cast, then you have to pay for it. And since athletics is only at 3, you don't have to worry about that.
Great. That's 8. So I still have 7 left to spend.
Oh. You're like me.
Yeah.
I sometimes am like, but I don't want all these dots.
I will take 1 extra willpower.
Okay, you're at 10.
Y'all, what should I spend my bonus points on? Min-max me, fam.
I have some suggestions.
Yeah, go for
they're
it.
just suggestions. I would encourage you to think about potentially.
Yeah.
You could invest heavily in another ability to
appearance.
put it up to 5.
Yeah.
And you could also just throw your appearance up to 5 and be mega hot.
Don't need to be. That's not.
It would help for your dodge.
Not my dodge.
Yeah. Because your guile is calculated with appearance.
It would help my guy.
Yeah, it's a dodge charm.
Yeah. More willpower. Yeah, I could go up to 7 willpower. Let's do it.
7 willpower.
Yeah.
You have 3 left.
Yeah.
You could rocket your socialize up. You could invest in, or you could spread out a bit more, and you can kind of go to occult 3, lore 3. Awareness is often a handy thing.
Yeah, so I've got 12. So I have three left if I want to do 1 each of awareness. Is awareness a favorite for me?
No.
Okay.
But we can change that.
Pretend that I did something else. I kind of want to be unaware though, which is funny.
That's fine.
Yeah. So yeah, it could be another dot in occult, lore, and bureaucracy. No, I already have 3 in bureaucracy.
But you can go up
Occult,
to 4.
lore.
Bureaucracy is one of the ones that you listed as a favorite ability.
Yeah. I don't know about survival. John doesn't tend to make us like need the nitty gritty, and the charm tree didn't excite me. Yeah, I feel like socially perceptive as opposed to surroundings. Like she can look through a telescope and notice details, but like her general state of being isn't as like globally aware, if that makes sense. That's my thought in terms of awareness.
So then read intentions.
Yeah.
Representing Aragorn here.
Yeah. Is
read intentions is a
perception
perception socialize roll.
Yeah, exactly. So I got 7 to that. I'm good. And
Okay.
I can specialize. I can lower my target number.
So,
I think I have enough, like, there's so much journey shit that helps me with getting places. It feels weird to me to want to get much Survival.
So survival,
Yeah.
I'll just tell you exactly what it says here. The ability used to traverse and survive in wilderness environments.
Yeah.
It covers the basic rudiments of outdoor survival, such as finding shelter, fresh water, and gathering food, as well as tracking, navigation, and handling animals. Compare that to sail, which is used to captain a seafaring vessel through the great oceans and rivers. It is used for maneuvering a vessel and plotting a course. So you don't need survival in order to navigate on a ship.
Exactly.
You need it to navigate
land, which I feel like I'm okay with my character being weaker at to start. It's something she can buy up. Yeah. So I think it might be lore, occult, and I don't know, lore and occult.
You have one left.
Yeah. I don't know.
The other thing that you could do
Yeah.
is you could put your manse up to 5, and then you would have a stronger Hearthstone.
Is it just one per dot?
No, it's you either have manse at 3 or manse at 5.
No, but the cost
one
for
per dot.
merits. Wow. Socialize, and then would it be lore or cult? No, I don't need to be rich. Lore or cult? Let's quickly flip through these terms. Not so much cult. I'm kind of fine with 2 for these. Okay. Yeah, let's do it. Man's 5. Let's fucking go.
Okay, so that means one of the things that you asked for has to be taken away. You boosted your occult and your lore.
No, I'm saying neither of those. Delete both.
Okay, so now you have one left.
Yeah. Okay, man's 5.
See, for me, having a manse at 5 means that you're kind of doubling down on the fact that you've got a past life
Yeah, exactly.
that really left you some good shit. Possibly also your armor. Steps retaken. The Nepo baby of Datafall.
Self-made. Past self-made. Self-nepo. Self-batism.
With that one, I would be tempted to ask. I'm going to ask you a couple of questions, and then that might help me. Okay, is Steps Retaken an expert at knowing about supernatural stuff?
I don't think so.
Are you interested in establishing facts? Do you want to be able to be very good at interacting with other people? Even if you are easily pushed around, you at least can tell.
Yeah.
Okay, so drop occult. Lore and socialize are the 2 abilities that I would consider boosting by 1. Lore, if you want to establish facts.
I actually need occult 3 for my insight decorum, so that decides it.
Boom.
Decision made.
And remember,
this
in
can
one
change.
session, you will gain enough XP to boost your lore and your social almost.
Yeah.
Is it nepotism if it's yourself? Good question.
Yeah.
Good question.
Cool.
That's fair. So that's with all of your stuff done, which means that you have a greater Hearthstone.
Yeah.
There are a couple of Sidereal Hearthstones in the book that you can look at, but I think this might be more akin to we should just discuss and find something.
There were the 2 that I was interested in were greater. So
The Stone of Hidden Safety and the Sphere of Red Rain.
the last 2, whatever the last 2.
Yeah.
Are. Yeah.
So.
No, it was the Cabochon of Celestial Puissance. Oh no, that's not it. Silk and Steel Pearl.
Oh, is that in the Sidereal book?
Yeah, I'm talking about the Sidereal book.
See, because I was looking at the Sidereal Hearthstones in the core.
Yeah, no. Yeah. Cabochon of Celestial Puissance. You can imprint it with a single Eclipse charm.
Okay.
Gold faction. Or Silk and Steel Pearl which socketed into armor counts as a stabilizer. So it kind of is the equivalent of my
that would
silk
be
armor,
a
so I don't need
duplicate
it.
of what
It's also, it's dependent, which means it needs to be socketed with something else.
Yeah, you
So I
do not
think-
have to choose a sidereal theme. Advance
But that said, I kind of really like the idea of the cabochon of celestial puissance. But I'd have to look at the eclipse charm. But yeah. Once an eclipse charm has been imprinted, it can't be changed until the bearer has spent experience to learn it. And either by a willing character is how you learn it, or by pressing the stone into an incapacitated enemy's brow.
So you either have to kick the shit out of an eclipse cast,
Find one that's been defeated, or
have
befriend
learned
one.
from that.
Yeah,
Or it could possibly still be imprinted with one
from the past.
from the past.
So I'm gonna put that down. 383.
Weirdest, I think you're right. I think Anima Banner is fun to find out the first time it actually happens.
Yeah.
So the Hearthstone that you picked specifically is called?
Cabochon of Celestial Puissance. I will not try to pronounce that as an English person would. I refuse, because I don't know. I only know how to pronounce it in French. 383.
It's an interesting choice. Now, just so that you know, the pronunciation
Yep.
is cabochon
Cabochon.
or cabochon.
Cabochon.
Here, listen.
Cabochon.
Cabochon.
It's
Yeah.
basically just
Puissance is the one that I don't know how to pronounce as an English speaker.
Puissance. Puissance.
however,
Puissance.
puissance is an acceptable pronunciation.
Yeah. Yeah, page 383. And there's like 4 other Hearthstones. Scott, you have a man's too? Everybody's got
No,
mans?
Scott does not have a man's.
Oh, okay. But yeah.
He just likes eclipse.
Okay, yeah. So, what makes a charm,
An
an
eclipse.
eclipse charm as opposed to
I
a
think it
normal
means that it falls under the eclipse abilities,
charm? Okay, cool. I will look into this cabochon of puissance.
which
Basically-
are bureaucracy, larceny, linguistics, occult, presence, ride, sail, socialize.
bureaucracy, sorry.
Bureaucracy, larceny, linguistics, occult, presence, ride, sail, socialize.
Wow. Okay,
So
yeah.
it falls right in your fucking wheelhouse.
Yeah, exactly. That seems super cool.
And also, puissance is the worst fucking
Yeah,
pronunciation.
puissance.
What the hell?
Pu indeed. Yeah. Yep.
Puissance.
Puissance. Cool. Very cool.
Is there an essence limit on the charm? Let me just
I
check
assume I
here.
have to have the appropriate essence for it. It doesn't say so. So, but I think I have to be able to.
You have to meet its prerequisites.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I can't just get the best charm in the tree. I also, yeah, exactly. I still think it's cool. Martial arts, melee, where's Mance?
I'm going to
Yeah,
I'm going to say
yeah.
that you don't have to have bought every charm in the tree, but the problem is you have to find an eclipse to actually have it. But you still have to meet the requisite essence
Yeah.
and ability. I think we'll check that to make sure.
We'll get into that.
Yeah, but very specifically, I don't think that it's a matter of like, well, now you have to buy, because if you had to buy all the charms up, you would still only be allowed to use one,
Exactly.
which seems kind of shitty.
Yeah. I think it's that I can get like, ooh, make it good. But yeah, to me it's that I can only get the entry level charms.
For now,
fine with that.
For now, you can because
Yeah.
you have Essence 1.
Yeah, but even still, like to have the prerequisite. But I guess it's true that I could spend the XP to buy the next one up the chain, and I would lose access to the earlier
You would lose
one,
access to the
but
first
I would
one.
have purchased it. Yeah, that's fair.
But
I'm open to that if you're open to that, but let's look at the power level of
what
that.
I'm open to is if you have to find an
Yeah.
eclipse, or you have to find a solar. Doesn't necessarily have to be an eclipse. It has to be a solar who knows this charm.
Yeah.
If it's a charm that you're interested in.
Yeah.
The thing is, that's not something you can easily control.
Yeah.
You are a sidereal, you can manipulate some fate,
Yeah.
but you can't kind of say like, tomorrow I will meet a solar who happens to know. I need an example now. Charms. Let's see. I need to know somebody who has Chaos Cutting Galley, which is if you want to sail into the wild,
Yep.
or Blood and Salt Bondage. Each member of the crew, including the Exalt, gains a number of health levels identical to the ship's hull rating. These health levels remain in place even if the Solar or her crewmates disembark. Shit. That's ridiculous. How about Invincible Admiral method?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, so there's a bunch of things that you could potentially get.
Yeah. Like there is one that could raise my guile by 2, but I don't need it.
Yes.
I already got that. So
And
yeah.
Gil is also correct. Oh, Eclipse, a keyword for charms that Eclipse casts can learn. Oh. Hold on. Yeah, you're right. So that's different. Okay, so we'll have to look into that because
Yeah.
that's different.
Yeah.
That is different. You're right. You are right.
Most of these have no keywords. Interesting.
You are absolutely right. Thank you for reminding me of that.
Yeah, I'm not seeing these.
Yeah, we'll look into this. Everything is fine.
Yes, nothing is broken. All of the above, yes, absolutely.
Are we doing the doink list of Exalt casts in this campaign? So, in other words, you have to find a Dawn, Zenith, Twilight, Night, Eclipse, Full Moon, Half Moon.
Just
no moon.
open the essence table. No.
Gonna have to fight a day, moon glow.
Did lose it? That work? Oh yeah, because I get access.
Yeah.
Nice,
So
yeah.
there are lists of things. We will
we'll
find out if it's something that you
Yeah.
need. But if not, we'll find another Hearthstone.
Yeah.
Okay. Here we are.
Yeah.
This is how your character looks at the moment with
Yeah.
your bonus points spent.
Yeah.
I am honestly completely cool with this character so far. I think it's really interesting. I think it's fascinating. I do think there's a lot of room for you to grow. It's important to note that in Exalted, a lot of your growth when it comes to abilities is actually your charms. To be able to do the really cool shit. It's not like a 5 in Sail. Yeah, you're amazing.
Yeah.
Do you want to be Exalted amazing? You're going to have to start investing in the charms, right?
Yeah,
so, like,
exactly.
I am totally fine with you having 5s in there. I imagine we may get to some more 5s
Yeah.
as we go on through
Yeah.
the campaign. The attributes are good. Specializations seem
Fine.
to
Yeah,
me. Those
I
are
mean,
things that we
yeah.
can change. That's kind
They're
of
also
really
like
more
3
your personal
XP or something
preference.
ridiculously cheap. So.
Yeah, they're cheap. 7 willpower. So in compare and contrast to Blazing Chrome's 5.
Yeah. Another thing I always print out or rewrite myself as character advancement. Yeah. Yeah. Specialties are 3. 3 XP.
Yep.
Cheap. Yeah.
Yes, mortals can have 5s.
Yes.
You can't have charms.
Nope.
Well, most of them can't.
Yeah.
And in 3rd edition, that's very de-emphasized.
Yeah.
It used to be that mortals would be able to access certain charms, or at the very least, like martial arts. And now it's kind of much less of a thing. The intimacies paint a good picture.
Yeah.
I have a clear idea of the kind of character that you want to make and where we can go with it. I also happen to know a couple of Socrates, so that's helpful for me,
Yeah.
just for where we're going to take this in the future. A bunch of charms, so
Yeah.
you are not combat focused, but you are definitely not combat incapable.
Yeah, well, especially now that I dumped my 5s there, but it just makes sense because of how the points work out. Like
Sure.
up an ability with XP.
It's 2 times current value,
Exactly.
-1 if it's
Yeah.
a favorite or cast.
That's like so much more XP than if I just want to get another dot in,
Yep.
like get a single dot in medicine or presence or something. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm quite happy with this. How are you feeling about the character?
Good. I'm excited for everyone to meet Liz's character because she seems super cool. And then I'm excited to have us all come together in a fun way. I also know you've got some ideas of NPCs. That's exciting. That will come together at some point. Let's just look over this. We talked a bit about the world and the setting, which is
Yeah.
great. Anything else? No. We've
Did
talked
you have
about
any tech that you wanted to discuss? We don't have anything to show.
or
today.
overlay? Yeah, we aren't swapping over that. But yeah, I can talk about that. So with great thanks to Lockcasting Atemi, which if you're playing Exalted 3rd Edition, honestly, it feels like the best way to do it. They have the only thing it doesn't have is a dice roller.
Because it's not designed for that.
Yeah, exactly. And you do have to copy paste some text in so that they don't get sued for, copyright infringement or whatever. But that's where we're tracking all of our character sheets and our stats and all of those details. And because it is a website with an accessible API, I have devised a way for our stats to update in real time just from our changing it on our character sheet, rather than having to also press buttons. So it's going to be pretty cool. Do we want to reveal who has been making the prettiest pretty?
Sure.
Wonderful mod extraordinaire Ergwin had made many of our overlays. One of our Exalted Witch Nexus overlays. Made the one for changing the streaming. Star Wars Reach, and the first half of Exalt Witch Academy. Were all done by Ergwin. And they were gorgeous and beautiful. And we asked if she'd be up for it again, and she very kindly said yes, and they look super cool. I can't wait to show you all what she has made, and the beat boops that I have put in to go with them. Nothing's fully functional yet. We're close. I have moats working. Health levels should work.
Wound penalties.
Wound penalties. Sorry, yeah, wound penalties.
And health levels.
Both of those things. Limit. Willpower is the thing I have left to implement, but Ergwin has given me the assets, 2 options, because she's the best. So, all of that and more will be soon to come.
The fact that we're able to use Lockcasting Atemi is huge for us.
Yeah.
Especially for tracking combat, it is almost indispensable.
Yeah.
Combat becomes far easier to track using Lockcasting Atemi because combat in this game is very heavily influenced on initiative.
Yeah, which I will also be able to display.
Your initiative is the core number that you need to pay attention to in combat, because when you're attacking, you're either choosing to use withering or decisive attacks. Withering attacks are you attempting to get position over your opponent. This game is very much a narrative combat feel, so if I'm making withering attacks, I'm not actually doing any damage, but I might be putting you on the back foot, making you trip a little bit, gaining the high ground. I have the high ground. And when you have enough initiative, you can then use that initiative in order to make a decisive attack, which will actually do health damage. Thing is, the initiative also determines your turn order. And keeping track of who has acted in this round, what their initiative is, because it changes constantly, whether you're attacking or defending, because you steal initiative from other characters.
Yeah.
Whether when you make a decisive attack, your initiative drops. If your initiative drops below 0, you're crashed, and that matters. All of that makes a huge amount of difference if you have something that can help you track it. And Lockcasting Atemi is a great tool for that.
You can track onslaught penalties. Like, there's just so many things that it has. Like you give it the result of your joint battle roll, and it gives you the value. Like, it's just so good. Thumbs up all around. Yes, and it is free. There is a Patreon. It does nothing but gives money to the kind soul that runs it and works on it and updates it. So I encourage you,
as we have,
if you're able to, it's $3 Canadian a month. So I assume it's like $2 American a month. If you're using it and you have the income, I encourage you to support them because it is so good. Yes, there's also a Discord. Not sponsored, but honestly, I consider them sponsored because brought to you in part by Podcasting Atemi.
Very much so.
Also brought to you in part by viewers like you. The credits do exist.
We have our Patreon.
Yeah.
Patrons have had access to our campaign frame, and they also still have access to the full typed out stuff. We're taking their suggestions, we're putting it in. But honestly, just if you're here, if you're watching, whether you're watching live or whether you're watching later on, we super appreciate it. It's awesome. Thank you so much for that. Here's some interesting stuff for you. Next week, we are going to have our 3rd character creation session. That's with Elizabeth. You'll be able to find out who she is. Get your bets in now as to which cast Elizabeth's character will be. Because most of you, not all of you, I stand corrected, but most of you did not successfully guess Kate's. So we will be curious to see whether or not you can guess Elizabeth's. We also have a couple of extra surprises up our sleeves, stuff that we have done. Being able to see this overlay is going to be cool. There's even more stuff which is coming in soon, which we will be very anxious to show you. There's also votes as to patrons will find out early with the seating arrangement. They did ask, and we're finalizing that. And
we just have to decide.
That was Gil, I think, who asked for that. No ox body technique? Not for you.
Not at this time.
Squishy.
Oh, Scott, you didn't take it? I could have sworn you were going to, but I guess maybe you rearranged those dots. I mean, it's so cheap when you get that much EXP. Charms. So many charms.
No reason why you can't buy ox body technique elsewhere.
True.
Although I do prefer the sidereal version of ox body to the solar.
So you took it. Okay.
Yeah. Scott's got the extra health.
Yeah.
If you have any questions, we'll gladly answer them. I try to answer a whole bunch of them that were in the Discord. If I've missed any, I will answer them on Discord. We have a Datafall section where people have been asking questions. We also have in our Patreon only channel, there are some extra questions which are being put in there. So by all means, throw down. We're happy to answer. This is a journey for us and a journey for you, and we will take this together. But the best part about this being a journey is that we at least have one of our chosen to guide us.
Know which direction we're going. Okay.
Except, coming up this week, Scott, if you're still in chat, do you have streams planned? Friday, Punchy. Saturday, we have
Doomed and Drew Crew.
Doomed and Drew Crew.
Sunday, we will be back here, but it will be Elizabeth in the seat.
Thanks to Kung Fu Fenris for being here. Aragwen for showing up even while on trips.
On the open road. She's going on a journey. There you go.
You should have been there. I take full cover behind Chrome.
Yep, correct.
Road to Empress on Tuesday for
Nice.
Scott. But thanks to everybody here. Now, tell us where we're going to go.
Up and to the right.
See you next time.